good day. Fine, no bucket. Watch your love for like it. Why not more than your body, check it. Bush it ready, yeah, imade. Double see le kilo fe. Why now?
Gotta do my little shimmy.
Welcome back.
Hey,
Back.
Yo, Carty, it's only been 1 week, right?
In dog years?
Has it been longer than a week?
Girl, it's been a black person's minute.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know my days and my weeks right now. It's a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot.
No, life been lifing.
Life been lifing.
I think the last time we were actually live was maybe 3-4 weeks ago.
It was not that long ago. You a bald headed lie.
3 weeks.
It has not been 3 weeks.
We ran 2 episodes, 2 reruns. So by default, that is 2 weeks. So technically, this would be the 3rd week.
It has not been 3 weeks. I'm about to tell you because
Okay.
we did relationship wars.
Maybe I wasn't on. Did I miss an episode?
we did the relationship wars, right? Okay. So yeah, it was only 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
So this will be the 3rd week. Okay.
We on, but you said it was like a whole month.
Look, you know how we get short in Black History Month, so I just felt like it was just short.
Anyway, I'm trying to allow
not
these
too damn long.
Speaking of Black History Month, Negroes always got to be late, and so we do have additional panelists that are coming in. I guess they fixing their Wi-Fi or whatever. Dr. Boomar, BK.
Evo?
We got BK the socialite. You know what I mean? Hey,
Mr. Worldwide.
Hello, my love. How are you? Hey, Sal.
Sal in the comments already, my man.
Time no see. You on time today.
And Teffy is the only one that is approved to come late. That's it. No one else was approved to come late except for her. She had her doctor's note, and that was it. This evening, we do not have our Lord and Savior, Just the Best, behind the stream. We have Mr. Curtis King behind the ones and the twos.
Y'all hear that? The hell?
Oh, BK.
Here he is. Here's the socialite.
Sorry, I'm late.
Welcome to the. No, it's you still be Dr. Umar.
I do day. Let me know where I stand. Thank you.
It is definitely
I'm doing good.
National Side John Day.
National Side John Day.
John goes for male or female, so it is Side John Day. Okay, so happy Side John Day. You are in the perfect place if you are a side motherfucker.
It's not a bad day.
It's also 50% off chocolate day. So hit up your local CVS.
Heck yeah.
Get your Reese's out yet?
Valentine's Day candy on sale now. Yeah.
Yep. Give me all them Reese hearts.
I mean, if anything, it's less pressure on Side John Day than it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't want no strings attached.
You sure about that? It's a lot of pressure.
Hey, not of the main Valentine's Day. Side John Day is like, hey, you might get something, you might not. I might not even celebrate Side John Day.
So here's the thing: what if you don't know that you're the Side John?
Well, then you know that day.
You know today.
You might not make the cut.
You know today.
What if you don't know? Is all I'm saying. You might not know.
You might be 3rd or 4th in the roster spot.
You might be. What did y'all do for Valentine's Day? Or
try harder next year.
I was on here.
Oh, okay. You was on
lonely streaming.
No, I was on doing the show last night.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, Master said you got to work on the holidays. So, Roxy, what you do?
I worked and then I slept. That was it.
That sounds good. Make love to that bed.
Mm-hmm. It was
that best head, baby.
Hey, Jazz.
What's up?
Cardi, what you do for Valentine's Day?
We kept it light. We went out to karaoke, drunk some, sung some, got nasty afterwards.
Okay. Make any babies? You had
fingers. Nah.
You had to think about it.
He did.
You had to think. It was a pause.
I ain't do no power washing.
I was about to say you hit that power wash, didn't you?
That's you, girl. That's your That's your lane.
Darius, what you do yesterday?
I made myself some karage. And I watched. What did I watch? I watched the rundown. So I was chilling.
A rundown.
It sounds like you made love to your hand yesterday.
No, I made love to some karage. That chicken was hitting. Had me some rice and some Brussels sprouts and fucked it up.
Yep, and Pamela Henderson was your dinner date.
Right.
Oh my god.
Man, I got a machine for that. So yeah.
The AI love.
The AI love. Go ahead, get on that.
Wait. You said you got a machine?
I have a flashlight for that. So
you got the stroke 5000.
Yep.
You just hold it with both hands and it does all the work for you.
I wish, bro. That is the dream, is to get the slow stroke 3000. Just hit that joint and just
Oh, what kind of setting is that?
Sit it on the you sit the joint on top and just go.
Got the goddamn setting.
Gotta hit it on the highest. You gotta hit it on the highest setting. You can't do nothing lower than the highest setting, bro.
Shit.
I'm trying to get
you can prevent forest fires with that thing.
Oh no, we got the lube on deck, so we ain't getting no rug burn on that joint.
Oh my god! Wait, Cardi, do you have a flashlight?
No, I have this contraption thing, and I didn't like it at all, so I left it alone. It's like a little sleeve thing.
Oh, beat a stroker or something like that.
It felt weird. It felt alien. I didn't like it.
Oh.
DK.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I have like.
That's how we started. Okay.
I have 11 toys.
Just go ahead and open my. Let me open my beer.
Yeah, I have 11 toys. It's actually all in a box on my shelf in the closet.
Well, you said 11. Sounds like each one of them has a name.
That's
very personal.
I should do that. I should name them. But I do have
the backless version.
I have a mode. So I have like a ass pussy ass mode with the vagina and the asshole. Then the flashlight. I have a flashlight. That was like I bought that in college. I was low-key embarrassed picking it up out the mail room, but I didn't give a fuck. That was like that first one was amazing. And my third one is I have that Gawk 3000, goes up and down and spin around, different strokes and motions and vibrations. I have that machine too.
Wait, the one that you hold with two hands?
No, just the one, the original Gawk, the one I can imagine.
Okay,
in the shower.
the original one. Okay,
yeah, I can imagine in the shower.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelmed?
Look, that motherfucking machine will swallow you up like look.
Woo!
Awesome.
Dr. Boomar, do you have one?
Do I have a flashlight?
Yeah.
You got the whole department in the garage.
So a fleshlight is a specific toy. I don't have a fleshlight. I have other silicone toys that are fleshlight like, but not specific to, because the difference between a fleshlight and what I have is the end. Basically, is a fleshlight is almost like being in a vagina because there's an end to it. Like there's a wall. Whereas though, like the joint I have is just a sleeve. It goes straight through. So
that's sleeve John.
Wow.
it's the sleeve and it's reversible. So like if I'm ever feeling frisky, I can flip it to the other side and everything like that. Also makes it super easy to clean because it's reversible. So it's stretchy. It can be cut. So like if you're too well endowed and your girl can't like swallow you, then you can like cut it and like she'll use that as the base.
Okay.
That's a little handicap.
Do it with no hands.
Well, come on in the room, everybody. Come on in the room. Okay, what a way to start the show that was supposed to have no debauchery in it, but still we found a way.
We found it.
It's always
Really? Like no debauchery? Like what?
I mean, listen.
It wouldn't be us if it was no like what?
I know,
Yeah, like
but
this,
in my
it wouldn't
head,
feel right.
We ain't Diddy level debauchery now.
when I did the outline, I'm like, yes, this is going to be a wholesome, a wholesome conversation today. Hey, y'all, hey.
Let's go. Yeah.
Welcome to Unicorn Straight No Chaser, where you come for the shenanigans, but you stay for the debauchery. In this case, you got the debauchery first. Now that we have mostly everyone here on the panel, we can go head around and say welcome. Now we have guests here, and of course, because y'all already exactly. I like to let the ladies go first, and since I'm not a lady, Foxy Roxy, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Wow. Hey, everybody. What's going on? This is Foxy Roxy, a.k.a. a voice known to make you moist, the a.k.a. Pillar Talker. And happy Thursday, Friday's Eve, and happy Black Friday. What's that? History Month. Hi.
Hey, Roxy.
Welcome.
Hey, Roxy.
What's up?
Hey, baby.
And
Professional pillow talker.
yeah, she is joining us because she wanted.
She got the auntie voice down, yo. It's the auntie voice for me.
Hey.
Like the come give me some sugar.
Hey, Miss
I
Parker.
talk to you for a minute. Hey, baby. What y'all doing over there?
Yeah, the girl thick voice.
And of course, we have the male counterpoint. In my opinion, he has a smooth voice as well that makes you moist.
I do.
Yes, the silky. If you don't stop playing with me, BK.
Hey, y'all, it's your boy BKE for life. You're cosplaying, streaming, podcasting, and video game playing blurred. Jack of all trades, master of none. Well, last night, yes, sex, that master of that. But it's your boy. Y'all know who I am.
And then we have the devil joining us from the digital pits of hell.
It's your boy, Digital Devil, aka King Blackstar, aka friendly neighborhood tech guy. I'm here back again to have fun with the unicorns and have a ball.
And of course, coming in late, Dr. Boomar.
Listen, I had to fight off the fat chick that was saying that she was with me last night.
Yo, that was
that sounds like a whole story.
Because we may have a new topic tonight.
Oh wait, you ain't see? Wait, you really didn't see the Dr. Umar joint?
No, I really didn't. I was
all right. I'm gonna send you the video. But so I'm Basim the Dream, affectionately known as Dr. Boomar. I'm gonna just go ahead and accept it.
Yes.
The podcaster extraordinaire.
I'm a podcaster.
I'm a podcaster. That's what I do.
Get you a t-shirt.
The white man knows you well because he's written books on you. How many books? They say the Negro entrepreneur.
Did she throw a bra on stage or what? What was that?
It was her bag.
In my life. Look at my book. Look at my bag. Yes, I'm going to keep speaking. I've never seen a sister a day in my life. Brothers and sisters, clap it up for the ancestors. Clap it up for the Most High.
My God.
Clap it up for black excellence. Clap it up for positivity.
I cannot.
Yes. Yes.
Deny.
Yeah.
You
They
gonna
not
stay
She came out the
focused.
shirt.
extra cushion for the pushing.
You gonna stay focused.
Oh, he a nigga.
Oh, Black Hawk
And
down.
that was,
Black
and that's
Hawk
where the
down.
lawsuit came.
Lord,
That's crazy.
Yo, he's such a nigga. I
We must stay
swear.
focused.
I
We
can't.
must.
I can't.
I
All
have
right.
not
Okay.
seen
No,
Well,
but
in my
so
life.
when the rumors come out, it's probably gonna say that she was trying to sell her book.
probably. I mean, ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. It is what it is. Listen.
Because that's what it was, a Freudian slip when she said, "Look at my book, look at my bag." Your book is in your bag. Like that's all you wanted. That was really all you wanted.
But they did, but
You
Has to
wanted
be a
an
better way
audience.
than just chucking your purse like you're a fucking terrorist.
well, it didn't say like him and the woman had sex like the night before or something like that. And that's why she
I don't put nothing.
That's what.
past Dr.
So
Umar.
that's what she's saying. I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but that's what she's saying.
I don't put nothing past them.
I don't put nothing past
Oh.
nobody at this point in life.
Way she put that purse onto that stage, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Got hands.
TD Cakes done lied to us for 50 years. I mean, I don't trust nobody.
He
All
sure
right,
ain't been in
guys.
public.
So let's get deeper into some more mess, right? That's what we're here for. We are here for Monique and her mess. And I am actually glad we were supposed to do this last week, but I'm actually glad that we ended up having to wait.
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I know we haven't been on for a couple of weeks, not live anyway. But the infamous Regina is not doing well. My mom is in the ICU, so I've been dealing with life and being a big sister and all that stuff. So, but what ended up happening is because we had that extra time, so much more things have happened since the Club Shay Shay interview. I mean, this is like a content creator's gold mine, right?
That nigga on fire right now.
Yeah.
So for anyone who is not living under a rock, you know that Shannon Sharp sat down with the comedian Monique for nearly a 3-hour-long interview on his Club Shay Shay podcast, and she went viral before they were even finished the entire interview. She referenced Cat Williams multiple times during the interview, and she even went on to joke that they were fraternal twins because of their shared need to tell the truth, even though it's going to ruffle some feathers, or the alleged truth, right? So she took the opportunity to sound off on various narratives that she had been entangled to throughout her career, various feuds that she had been in, down to Netflix for their discriminatory practices. And she also aired out some of her personal grievances. So, first thing first, has everyone on the panel had an opportunity to watch the full interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, 3 hours is a long time. Sister Monique, I couldn't do it.
I mean, I don't think it was. I feel like Cat Williams was longer, or it just felt longer.
It
No,
felt
it just felt longer.
but Monique's was longer.
Okay, yeah. Well, Monique's, and maybe because I was more like I don't know. Maybe because I was actually entertained listening to Monique's versus listening to Cat Williams. It just felt like a complaint session.
Hey, love.
Like this sound more like a conversation than anything else.
So so that's what I was going to ask you to briefly say what you felt about the interview. You said, Bash, you said you actually liked this interview better than Cat's?
As far as the entertainment value. Like, to me, I wasn't entertained by Cat. I just felt like it was, it was just, there was like it was almost like you've taken a public speaking class, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it was almost like the laugh track every 20 minutes. It was like 20 minutes in, bam, laugh track. And it was like, wait, like, but I didn't. All right, cool. And then, but with Monique, it felt like a real conversation. Like, it just felt like, and the funny thing is, for both of them, I was doing the same exact thing. Like, as far as like listening to the actual podcast and like at work doing work. And the funny thing is, it was the same exact, like my same exact work day. Like, it was my Friday. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna blow this Friday, gonna go by quick, blah, blah. I finished the whole interview on that Friday. And Cat Williams, it just felt like I was struggling to get through it. Like I was like, yo, you know what? I gotta go listen to something else. Like I couldn't really focus. Whereas though, and it may have been me, but I just feel like with Cat, it just felt like a complaint session. With Monique, it felt more like, and it could also be on Shannon, meaning like his interview skills have upgraded because he heard the complaints that people had. As far as his ability to interview. With this one, he didn't allow Monique to really control the interview. He asked questions. He interrupted her when she was going on, and he made sure to like wrangle her back in. So, in my opinion, it was just a better overall interview.
Okay, Roxy, how did you feel about the interview?
Well, I thought the interview was very informing. To hear Monique finally get this platform, and I mean, she probably already had it, but to have this platform to really, really go into talking about everything that she has endured prior to the industry and while in the industry, I appreciated a lot of things about the interview, even down to still giving flowers to the people that basically kind of gave her a bad rep or whatnot, talking about Oprah, talking about what's his face, Tyler Perry, things like that. It was like she talked about this is, congratulating them on different things or whatever, but she still also talked about the truths of things that happened as well. So it wasn't like she came in there bad mouthing everything about them. When she talked about Oprah, I kind of related in a small sense because when I was younger, and I remember seeing her back when she had a talk show, like a regular talk show, you had the Robert Downey Jr., Jesse Raphael, all that. And she wasn't what you saw on television. You saw the skinny white woman up there or the skinny older white man, up there doing different things. And here she was. And it was something to see at the time and get inspired to be able to go into this field. The fact that she still gave her flowers to that, but then all of a sudden she talks about how things changed, how the industry seemingly went ahead and changed her and a number of other people that got wrapped up in whatever this umbrella of, entertainment is. And so I appreciate it even down to how she talked about her husband, which is something that you don't always see a lot of.
Well, it's interesting not to cut you off.
No, I apologize. I did kind of go off. I apologize.
No, that's fine. Because we definitely is just a lot of bullet points to touch on as far as the interview, especially because it was so long. That is a big point of contention, right? For a lot of people, the fact that she is so attached to her husband and more so the fact that she calls her husband daddy. A lot of people find issue with that, including her son, which we will get to later on. We will get to the meat and potatoes of that later on. But a lot of people have an issue with that. I don't personally have an issue with that myself. Darius, what do you think about the fact that she calls her husband daddy?
So I feel like a lot of times that's for you and your partner. Like that's honorific. That's what you use with you and your partner. Now, there's certain instances, like say you're out at a party or something like that, and you need to come and say, "Hey, Daddy, can I get out of here? Because this just is too much." Stuff like that makes sense. But in a sense of being like just using, like she uses it almost like that's his name. Like she doesn't use his actual name. She doesn't use his actual name. She uses it like daddy. And then it's just weird to me that everybody around her uses it. Her using it is fine. That's cool. I'm okay with that. Like a little weird, but we all got little weird things that we do with our partner. The fact that her son and some of the other people around her call him daddy, that's too much to me. That's where I draw the line.
Well, I don't think I think they're being facetious.
Okay.
They're just trying to be a smart ass. Like, but a lot of women call their sexual partners daddy. Why is it any different from baby bae? Like, You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything weird with it. Cardi, do you see anything weird with it?
No, not at all. I mean, it's an honorary title, so I mean, I like how she wears it on her chest. Like, hey, I can just say this no matter what public setting I'm in. Um, so that just shows how confident that she is with it, and how much she honors and loves him. So, if there's nothing wrong with it, she don't like it. I mean, she likes it. I love it. So, I don't see no problem with it.
Sal thinks that she was told that she had to do that. So I was curious.
like a pimp situation. Like, hey, bitch. Like,
well, that's what
I'm daddy from now on.
That's what her son was saying. Her son did reference a pimp whole relationship. Yeah, he did reference it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to look it up and see, like, okay, really, like, what is the issue with it, and is it something that people should be concerned about? Because I think people equate it to some type of daddy issues. And
see,
so
I don't like that part. That's the part I don't like. Don't equate it to daddy issues. People call it's different honorifics. Like, they're just let them have their honorifics that they want to use. It's not like that she has severe daddy issues or she's looking for somebody to take over her life or something. No, that's just what she calls her partner. She could call him senpai. She could call him a king. There's I think her first husband, she called him king.
Yeah, she did. But Digi, everything that you described, as far as like what you would consider like daddy issues, she describes as having. One. So I'm really playing devil's advocate here, because I really have no issues with her calling him daddy in public, because I've done multiple shows and had multiple conversations about where does the BDSM boundary stop when it comes to the dom and sub relationship. Like, does that relationship extend outside of the bedroom? And for some couples it does. Does that relationship extend into, the real public? Yes, in some couples it does. Like, I would be offended. I would take issue if whenever they walk together, she had to hold the inside of his pocket or something like that. Like, then I'm like, no, that's some real pimp shit right there, because the only thing I could think of is Anabisi. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I'm gonna go is eyes. Like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Nigga walking around holding your pocket, yo, you got them fully in check. Like, so that's how I look at that.
Yeah.
The daddy thing, I used to have an issue with it because I don't like being called daddy. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else.
Yep.
But that's a me thing. Once I let that go and realize, no, you can be called whatever the hell you want to be called. Cool. If they want to call you daddy, they call you daddy. I've had exes who've called me teddy bear. I've had an ex who called me, she still calls me Teddy Graham, because she said I remind her of the Teddy Graham cookies.
Chocolate
So
Teddy Graham.
That's really one of my names.
So yeah, I mean, and BK, I get it. It makes sense to me, because I'm looking at you and you got the cheek, like you got the cheeks. Like, I'm about to go get the Teddy Graham picture. Like, yo, like this nigga really look like a Teddy Graham. Like, it's not me, it's him.
That's
BK, aka Teddy Graham. Oh,
Teddy
shit.
Graham.
Wow, we can't unsee it now, BK.
Like, so
Especially when you smile, it's just like
yeah, it's when he
Yeah.
smiles, they go all the way up.
Oh my god.
BK, the
But
honey
yeah, like,
one.
so for me, I'm like, yo, I've been called so many different, like, just terms of endearment in public that I can't be mad about somebody calling somebody daddy in public. Like, I've been called bunny in public, like in front of 100 people. She called me bunny, like, hey bunny, like, and was serious.
Yeah.
Hell, I had a teacher who she was Russian, so when she pronounced my name, it sounded like she was calling me a pussy. So so for me, it's like, it is what it is, right? Like, at some point you just gotta accept it. Like, this is their how they speak to each other. Like, it is what it is. Like,
So
Yeah.
So I did a little research, not pussy, and
so you had Miss Strauss, so you know her Russian accent was thick as hell.
yes. Oh,
So-
she was the one. Okay.
Yes. Yes, and she almost sounded like she was singing at the end of every sentence. It would go super high, so it would be like pussy, like that's it's the worst.
Yo, I'll have to fight my teacher, yo. You ain't getting away with that.
Oh my God.
No, we want the box.
Yo.
We're not going after that.
So I looked into it, and there is a sex therapist named Vanessa Marin, and she said, you know, daddy can mean father, but we also use the word to indicate when someone is a boss, they're a protector, a provider, they're doing a good job. So usually that's the meaning. And when a woman is referring to her significant other that way, is because they feel safe with this person, they feel protected by this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's usually the reason why, not per se because they have daddy issues. It's not a
Two things can be true.
The
two things can be
because
true.
I don't care what nobody says. She described all of her daddy issues, like literally word for word. So, and literally what Digi just said is exactly what she said. Yes. She said what her daddy issues were, and she said that. She even said that this man, her husband, raised her when they really started dating. Well, she used the word raise.
Yes, she did use the word raise, and she did say that was a part of the reason why she said it. But also, I did want to clarify for other people out there who do not have daddy issues that you do not have to be in the same box as her because you like to call your man daddy. I like to call my man daddy. You know what I mean? But I don't have any I don't feel like I do have any daddy issues at all. So it is really because I feel protected by them. That's normally why I say it. If I don't feel protected by you, then I probably will trail off and stop saying it at some point in time.
Oh my God. That's the honey one.
Oh my God.
It's a swoosh for me.
That was it.
Oh my God. You're never living it down.
Never living it down.
That's it.
And it's so cute because he's like,
and I love telegrams. Like I'll fuck up a whole box too.
You gonna fuck up the whole box?
I can't now. I just can't be eating little BKs all day. That's crazy.
It went over his
head. A whole...
Oh man, that's where my mom went to. Bust down.
Yeah, Siren, I got you. I got you. It definitely went over his head. It went over his head.
Yeah. So amongst Monique's infamous feuds, of course, she has the ongoing. Well, it ain't a back and forth because Oprah just let her talk to herself.
Pretty much.
She definitely went and said that Oprah overstepped her boundaries with her. So the feud started actually back in 2010, and she felt that during the show, she felt blindsided because family members that she did not approve of were on Oprah Winfrey's show, and that they actually had a history of downplaying the abuse that she went through at the hands of her brother by the name of Gerald Imes, because I feel like we need to put it out there, right? The name of the abuser. So she said, I tried to be respectful. I tried to call you first. When she had my family on her show, I tried to call you and talk to you privately, but then you became the great mighty Oprah and you were too busy to talk. So now I'm going to talk about it. And this woman has overstepped me in so many ways. And I felt as if she actually was warranted in that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you guys felt about it. There's a lot of things where I am going to say that I don't agree with her with, but I actually felt like that said a lot about Oprah's character, the fact that she would have some, like, why would you even want him to be on?
Sensationalizing it. So she's doing the same reason why she has Dr. Oz on, same reason why she had Dr. Phil on. It's sensationalizing people's mental stripes and their issues. It's like that's the whole point of talk shows. It's to just create this vacuum of emotionality and exploit it for views. Yeah. So like just put everybody's business all out on Front Street and let's talk about it. Things that really shouldn't a lot of times be brought to the public eye, because then it just either creates a worse scenario or something else happens. Like we all know about the guy who got killed after after Sally Jesse Raphael. No, not Sally Jesse. Jenny Jones show because one of his. Yeah, so stuff like that, it just escalates it. It doesn't help the situation. You're not trying to get these people help or have things resolved. You're just escalating the situation for views. So that's what I feel like. And I'm personally pissed off at Oprah about that because I'm like, that's some nut ass shit. I ain't gonna lie.
As a sexual abuse survivor, she's a sexual abuse survivor herself, and so I thought that was really odd for her to do, given that she's been through the same thing and her abuser was in her family. Like, I don't know if anybody, a lot of people are familiar with her background, but she had to look at her abuser all the time. So I'm like, why the hell would you do that to another woman? Go ahead, Roxy.
But
and also, too, not to mention in regards to her abuser, for those who don't know, she even got pregnant by the abuser, tried to kill herself and the baby by drinking bleach. And delivered the baby at 8 months. But then you can go ahead and do this and put somebody else's trauma out there for ratings and everything and completely forget the position you were in. So
what happened to that baby? Anybody know?
It died.
It died. Yeah, the baby was stillborn.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hurt people hurt people. Crabs in a barrel. Niggas would do anything for $1. Like, I could run down a list of reasons that she did it.
She wasn't the executive producer at the time of the show, so.
Oh no, because this was after. These interviews all happened after the Oscars.
Yep.
So not only was she that was her last year running the show, right? That was it.
Yeah,
the show's been off the air since that year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the old network.
I really want to say this. Facebook user said, I've heard from some survivors that they had to fight urges to do the same to others, like their kids, unfortunately. So that's usually what happens. It's a trauma cycle that happens, someone is abused and then unfortunately they go on to abuse other people. It's just 9 times out of 10, someone that is an abuser was abused at some point in their life. However, that does not absolve them from what they are doing. It's a sad situation, but when you feel like that, you need to do something about it. Therapy. And I don't know that I've ever really heard Oprah say that she's gone to therapy. I know she had the whole Dr. Phil situation.
She admitted very recently, within the last few months, if I'm not mistaken, it might even be the last few weeks, that she's never been to therapy.
Well, that explains a lot.
I got $1 billion. I don't need therapy. I'm good. I got all my money.
I'm good. Yeah, right.
Cardi is even worse. It's the old black adage. The whole keep that in house. Don't talk about nothing. She's doing the old school black thing where we don't talk about our feelings. We just push them down until we inevitably get killed and poisoned by them. So,
BK, you quiet over there. I'm not used to it.
It's just. It's a lot to say on the situation, a lot of ways to view it, but like, am I surprised about Oprah's activity? No, not at all. I mean, where I'm from, that's everyday life. That's how we grew up. Like, you get the opportunity and you want to keep the top spot and nobody else can compete for it. You do what you got to do to keep your spot. And I think she did it out of a state of kind of jealousy because, like, Monique really was propelling like upward. She had just won an Oscar, and like,
I didn't think about that part.
Like, when that's when you start rising, and it was like, no, let's knock her down a peg because she could be as big as me one day. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was a stage of jealousy. That's what it looked like to me in my viewpoint. Like, oh man, Oprah was jealous at something.
That's
something made her act the way she did.
Though Oprah's interviewing style has always been similar to that of a therapist, the media mogul revealed that she herself has never been in therapy in an episode of the Drew Barrymore show. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I think it's weird because Oprah at the time that Monique was, reaching the height of her career, I mean, Oprah was already rich. what really? And don't get me wrong, I have been in positions before where I had absolutely nothing, and people were jealous of me. And I was like, why? Like, I don't understand. I don't have shit. Like,
because the spotlight wasn't on her.
It
The
was,
spotlight was on Monique, and even her audience recognized that. That story that she told, that was televised. It's not like you can't find that moment, and you can see Oprah's face in the video.
exactly
Like, it's
that
not like
time.
you can't find these things. Like that was the difference between Kat and Monique for me. The biggest difference. Everything that Monique said, she was telling you, yo, you know how to use the internet? Go find the receipt. And literally, you can go find the receipt. The receipt is right there. Google is like literally like.
That's wild to me. That's absolutely wild to me.
It's
Yeah,
not
'cause,
wild
like,
to me. I see it
it's
with
not
black
wild
women.
to
I
me.
see it with women in general all the time.
That's what I said. It's like I see it in women all the time. This is how they fight. Like, and when she even was describing like the interaction with Oprah and Taraji, and we all seen the video of how they was
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
That's how women fight. It's literally, and it's like it was clear as day that there was some tension between them two. And at the end of the day, it's like, y'all getting too big. Like, now I'm Danielle Brooks. If she wins Best Supporting Actress, she either gonna follow the rules of Hollywood or be another Monique.
If I had $1 billion, I swear to God, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. I don't give a
And clearly, that's how Oprah feels. I don't give a fuck.
So, she continued to maintain that Oprah and Tyler Perry contribute to blackballing her career. She actually says that Lee Daniels discreetly told her that she was blackballed by all three of them, that they were in cahoots, that he did not elaborate on it, but because she refused to work for free to promote the movie, that they blackballed her. I find it, now I believe that. I 100% do believe that. I wonder why Lee Daniels didn't really catch any type of backlash for outing them.
Maybe because he took accountability.
No, also because by then he was too powerful and separated from them. He had his own. He had built his own relationships by then, so he didn't need them for the introductions anymore. Like by then you see his talent. You know who he is. I don't need the rest of y'all no more. So because he could detach himself from that and the guilt of it all, he went and apologized to her publicly, like on some listen. I'm gonna go on stage. I never forget that video, yo. I went and watched that video so many times because I wanted to make sure that it was real, right? So the first time I watched it, I was kind of like on some, I don't believe him. I think he's just saying it because he wanted her in his next movie. Like that was really what I thought. I was like, he wrote it's a movie coming out about an auntie and he need her. That was what I thought. And then, like I watched it again and I was like, no, he was serious. Like this man shed tears. Like he was like it was something near. Like he felt hurt about something. Because men don't cry because they're happy.
Well, he definitely. I wouldn't want the weight of that on me. I wouldn't want that karma. I'm a person that definitely believes in karma, even if some people don't believe in God, But I believe what you put out into the universe, it definitely comes back to you.
Mm-hmm. Until you do right by me.
Yes. Exactly. Oprah, till you do right by Monique. Everything you do. Well, it doesn't seem like that's been happening to her, unfortunately.
What do you mean? Color Purple just flopped.
She's still
she is going to be rich. It is hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for her to lose her money, right? And our job isn't to ask the universe or God or to tell the universe or God what the punishment or karma should be, right? Our job is to just say, hey, listen, we know it's going to happen. And what happened first, the first domino to fall, was Taraji and the Color Purple failing.
Oh,
that was the first domino.
There's another one before that. She got ousted about her issues in Maui, where she was buying up land.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That was the first one.
All that shit burnt.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit burnt.
At this point, do you feel like that she thinks in her mind she is so protected by her money that she can get away with anything.
She
Yes.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Cool.
She is on
She
one.
yeah.
she untouchable.
I feel like he spelled that wrong.
He
Weinstein,
did.
Uh-huh.
a little bit,
did.
but it's
Well,
true.
we
It's fine.
I before E except
We know what
after
you
C
said.
and when sounding like A,
But
as in neighbor and way.
Oh my
I
God,
still
not the
like
hook
that.
on
I really
phonics.
do still like that. When I'm writing, I be like, I before E except after
I don't want to worry about fucking
Like,
Stedman.
I just be looking at it like this don't look right.
yeah, that's like,
I couldn't even focus on what you were saying. I was like, what is that?
Stedman is Jason Bourne.
Well, first of all, this is sidetrack. Did you not hear about Gayle King supposed to be with Meek Mills? I'm like, what
oh
the?
my God.
What?
Yeah,
Isn't
I don't
Gayle
believe
gay?
it. I don't want to give it. I don't want to give it any time.
Who made
I
that
don't
up?
believe it.
Like, what the
I
hell?
hope
I don't
it's.
believe
I,
it.
Y'all
I
funny
really
with it?
hope it's true. I would love for that
Want
to
it be
happen.
true?
I would love that for Meek. I would love that for Meek.
For
No.
Meek to be her beard, because that's really what he would be. Y'all gotta stop
Yeah,
playing.
but
Wait,
think of
can
where
y'all
he gets
imagine?
access to.
You
Think of what
right. You right.
So you
That's
think
true.
he-
Yeah, I
Yep.
would love it for Meek
think
too.
he got him
Never
a
mind.
boo-boo?
Digi, I love it for Meek too.
Can't see
I
Gayle.
thought
Gayle
Gail was
on a
gay.
back. Can you
Gayle.
imagine
See?
Gayle on a
Yeah,
back?
That's
that's
why I
what
said
I
he
thought
would
Gayle
be
was
her
gay.
beard. Is
Unless
it still a
Gayle
beard? Is
her
it
husband.
is it still a beard for a
Beard,
woman?
Bard.
Is there a new word? Do we call it
Is it a
something
wig?
else?
Would it be a wig?
There's
I
a
think a wig would
beard.
fit.
There's a lavender marriage, and
He knocking the box
Ooh, a
out
lavender
of
marriage. I looked that one up. I never heard that one before.
a lavender marriage is like when two gay people marry each other so they can be each other's beards. You get what I'm
Oh, like a
Oh,
stud
yeah.
marries a dude who's gay and not in a closet, and then they marry each other so that they could. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
a
when-
very
when-
that's a very old term, but yeah, that's what a lavender marriage is.
okay.
So more
Well,
people.
lavender is so
Let's do that.
relaxing. That doesn't seem relaxing to me.
It is if you ain't got to
We
worry
got-
about people finding out your secret.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but
can
you
relax.
got a secret. That ain't relaxing in itself.
Listen.
You ever
we
had to
know
hold a secret?
Everybody got a secret. Everybody got some type.
Exactly.
Of secret. I'm just.
It ain't nothing relaxing about having it.
Depending on what the secret is.
Right, depending on what it is.
So in addition to Oprah and Tyler, right? She called out a number of people. She called out Tiffany Haddish.
Mhm.
Called out Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, I don't even know why she was surprised.
Oh, point.
Oh no.
I don't know
Kevin
why
Hart.
she was surprised about Al Sharpton at all. Al Sharpton is not for the people; he is for the money. So, I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that she fell for that bullshit in the first place. What did Al do? So
Al is an FBI
Al
agent.
took the money. Al took the money.
All
so
the time, every time.
so Curtis,
Yeah,
Al,
right.
she's reached out to Al and she played the audio of what Tyler Perry said as far as admitting to the wrongdoing and blackballing her. And she said that Al told her, listen, you're like a daughter to me. What that man did you was wrong. I'm going to reach out to him and he's going to make it right. And she didn't hear from him. I think about maybe 2 weeks went by, and then she finally saw him on TV, and he said, we don't need them. We can get on Tyler Perry's private jet.
Yep. Yeah.
And so
And that
she
was
said,
it.
you know what? I guess that's why we haven't heard from Al.
That was it.
Tyler slid him a little cash.
Mhm.
Tiffany Haddish, she just licking Kevin Hart's ass.
I'm telling you.
In a circular motion.
You
I'm
go
the only person that does not like Tiffany Haddish.
Nope,
No.
I'm right there with you. I do not like that woman.
I only like her as an actress. Like anything outside of an actress, I don't like her. So I just need her to just
Beautiful
stay
sister
there.
Tiffany Haddish
Mm-hmm.
did an interview with GQ magazine, and this, in my humble opinion, is where we keep throwing each other under the bus. You're doing an interview with GQ magazine, and I'm assuming the journalist was a white person, and the conversation turned to Monique. And she said, well, I don't do business like Monique do business, and I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers.
But you don't know your husband.
And when I saw that, it's like, Tiffany, if you had a husband like mine, you may not have 2 DUIs. If you had a husband like mine, you may not be caught up in what looks like you could have been grooming a child. And I say all of that with no judgment. But when you speak about having a husband like mine, you open up the door. And I'm saying to you, if you had one like mine, you may not sit in these positions that you can't explain the next day.
Right.
Or it's a hard way to go. So once again...
Well, she doesn't even have a husband.
I like where it ended.
And then Shannon slid
The
in
ether-
with the
in the background. That's fucking crazy though.
No, Sal, she does
No,
not because she
no.
can't tell a joke.
Tiffany is
Well, her funny special is other female comedians.
Yeah,
well,
it is, and it's actually other comedians in general. Like They Ready is pretty good, but it's not her.
Yeah, it's not.
So what I originally, when she first came out, what I liked about Tiffany is that she seemed like she was very down to earth and she was being her authentic self, and that her story, when you listen to her story, you know, like you have a lot of like empathy for her, and so I was rooting for her, and then I don't know what happened, but it's just like one day I saw her and she had turned into a coon, and
she's typecast.
Most
not
definitely.
even, not even her roles, but just how she
Yeah, just her as
how she
as she showed up in public was definitely coonish.
like when she had
Yeah, that's what I'm
chicken
saying. I think that's what
wings
she
every
had
day.
to be to make it. It's like you do this because you notice her acting like that. She was in a lot of shit, movies, TV shows. She had roles, so they was like, "You play the part, play the coon of Hollywood, and we got you." And
That's
she
crazy.
got bags of like
That's the
of
same
being
thing
like
Kevin Hart did until he got to his own platform.
until he got to his platform. Like he literally, you gotta play the coon.
So
you
what's
make
crazy?
Hey.
What's crazy about her is she played off this whole. So her first like running thing was she wanted to get to Hollywood so she can fuck her one of the white men. She like, I want to get me one of them white men. I want a Brad Pitt. And it was all about her fucking white dudes.
And then
Like Kat talked about it, and it was like, you don't gotta do all that. Like you can just be like, I was with Siren. Authentic self. She seemed like she grew up in Southwest Philly with me, and it was good. But as it continued to go on, it's like, well, she's elevated past. She should be able to elevate past that. Like that's a
Right.
jumping off point.
You should be able to pivot.
Yeah, she couldn't pivot. She's still in the same role, still doing the same things. And then I don't know when she did, but she started hanging out with Ari Spears, and I'm like, oh baby girl, that's a bad look because that dude, that's the epitome of bitter comedian is Ari Spears. He hates everybody else in comedy because he didn't make it the way he wanted to make it. He made it, but not as big as he wanted to be. So she did the video with him, and I was like, oh. Now this is, I'm like you, and then from there she kept getting into trouble, and then you keep hearing things behind the scenes about the way she acts and how she's difficult sometimes. And then I wouldn't even give her the benefit of the doubt when she was with Kevin Hart, but it seemed like Kevin just serving people up to Hollywood. He's like finding these people, serving them up to Hollywood to do whatever black role they want.
Nah, because if you look at his core people, like the Plastic Cup Boys, he not serving them up. He not serving them up. He said y'all can't have them. That like he said y'all can't have Naeem. Y'all can't have them at all. Like that's so yeah. He's serving people up.
Picking the sacrificial lambs.
Yeah, basically it's like he's picking and choosing who he's sacrificing because his core group. Like it's like either they're saying I don't want to, but then I follow Naeem, right?
They're
so
talented, though.
all of them, super talented.
No, I don't think they're talented. I said
I actually think they're all very talented. So I went to one of the few shows in Philly that they all performed. Yeah, like that's like it was, but this was before
in jail.
This was before Kevin Hart got big.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Yeah, she in LA. Like they ain't got no limit.
Yeah.
I don't find
you can hire people to take raps for you.
They're not funny to me at all. Kevin Hart hasn't been funny to me in quite some time. I believe everything she said about Kevin and him
and his wife and his ex-wife.
Oh no, I definitely think he bullshitted her. Absolutely, I don't think that was a lie.
Now, do you?
I've bullshitted people before.
you
what?
You bullshit people on a daily basis.
On a daily basis. Like, yeah, I got you, yo, I got you, and then never answer my phone again.
But
Why? Why do it?
I'm talking about how everybody believes that Kevin Hart's wife used to write half of his material, and they would go back and forth. His ex-wife, him and his ex-wife used to go back and forth and write material together. And then once he kicked off and he got with his light-skinned weird-faced wife, now he's just doing roles now, and but his stand-up isn't as good.
Well, yes, noticeably around the time they really parted their ways.
He is the same person.
I think that she probably may be a really good writer. I don't know that her delivery is anywhere near as good as his.
Yes, and that's
I guess we can go see.
Point. Yeah,
I guess we all can go see because she's on the Cat Williams tour, and when she come to Philly, she gonna get booed anyway. It don't matter.
Wow.
Now.
You
We
know how
support any and everyone that come from Philly.
yes.
You-
But do
absolutely.
you think Philly niggas are going to support her? Do you like?
are going to support her? Like for real?
They gonna boo the shit out of her.
They gonna boo the shit out of her at the fucking Leacourt Center. I can't wait. She ain't gonna be able to get nothing off.
Or just y'all?
No, it's gonna be the whole crowd.
Yeah,
it's going to be the crowd.
They're gonna.
Why?
They are gonna boo her.
You haven't given any definitive.
I'm not gonna boo her. I mean,
why?
She asked
Because
me to
niggas
boo
is
her.
haters, and they like
Niggas
just the
is-
same thing with the way people feel about Meek Mills. They feel the same way about Kevin Hart. Anybody from Philly, they just want to support them. So when anybody comes out negatively, it's all they hate and they just she just mad because he divorced her.
Until they
That's
You
that's
thought
what they
that way
wanna do.
about Will Smith? Y'all blindly support Will Smith?
No, I'm saying that's how Philly people. That's how a lot of people in Philly feel. Blindly support.
Yes, I blindly support Will Smith. Like
I can go on record and say that as well.
Yes, I blindly support Will Smith. He has yet to have a rape accusation. He has yet to have a child molestation accusation. Those are my two. Like, there are some other ones there, but he ain't got neither one of those. Oh, no, I could support him.
And the only trouble he's been in Hollywood is...
Now I don't support that nigga because I didn't support him from Rip, though. Like, not blindly, at
He
least.
look like Tyrone Bigham and fucking.
He always looks like Tyrone Biggles with that red fucking beanie he always wearing. Like, come on, bro. Like, we gotta do better. That's dark skinned people gotta do better, bro. We can't be just out here looking all willy nilly and crazy.
No, what's the boy that used to wear the ski mask on Fat Albert? That's who he reminds me of.
Oh,
Is that
Mush mouth. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So we do agree that Kevin Hart is a piece of shit, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, part of
Alright.
them not elite now.
Now,
I'm trying to get into it.
But
he may be a smart businessman in some sense, but you have to admit on some level that he has been cooning for a big chunk of his career.
Oh yeah,
the
fuck
male
her, it was
coon,
definitely a
Tiffany
fluke.
Haddish is the female coon.
Yeah.
Now, has Taraji drunk the Kool-Aid?
yeah.
I think she took a sip.
But Kool-Aid of what though?
So you know that initially Taraji was going around and she was saying things about how she was not getting paid fairly, the inequality for Black women in Hollywood, and this is something that Monique has shed light on, more than a decade ago. This is where the messenger comes in with the mess. Monique praised Taraji, but then she also said, "Hey, Taraji backpedaled and she pussy popped." Because if a woman ever writes her abuser a love letter and apologizes for being abused, yeah, she drunk the fucking Kool-Aid. Like, how do you not drink the Kool-Aid? She wrote the woman basically a love letter apologizing for basically being abused. Like, I'm sorry I put myself in a position to get punched in the face. What? Yes, absolutely. You don't think the damage is done even though
the damage was already done because coming to streaming next week is The Color Purple. So the damage was done.
No, it's already up.
The damage was really done
for a while. I feel like she can't necessarily. I think that she did enough so they wouldn't try to blackball her the way that they did to Monique. However, I still think that there's definitely some chinks, and that she is going to have to pay for what she did ultimately, because you can't hide it. You can't, unsee the body language. You can't her crying very publicly, and Taraji has the people's favor for the most part, right?
Yep. But you know what's going to happen? Yes. They're going to make her make it up by doing a whole bunch of Tyler Perry movies again. She was already past that phase in her career. She did the 3 or 4 Tyler Perry movies, and she was up to the point of doing A-list movies. Now they're going to knock her back down to doing Tyler Perry movies again. She going to live in that Tyler Perry studio for at least the next 3 to 4 years.
That's not 50, fair, though.
Unless Curtis Jackson gets rid of Oprah Winfrey between now and then.
And I hope he does.
I'm telling you, before the end of the year, it's up for Oprah. If 50 is the man. I used to hate 50.
I used to hate him.
Absolutely hate him. Yeah, I can't even front on my guy now. Like my guy is out here fighting for women.
Business, very business minded and petty. That's a dangerous combination.
He's super petty. He is like the pettiest Negro on
Raising
earth.
Kanan. I don't know who watches Raising Kanan.
I don't, but I'm going to start because
good.
Y'all out here bigging this up like it's the next Wire. Somebody said that it was this season. They said this season was probably better than every Wire season that there was, and I'm like, y'all on some bullshit. But I'm gonna try it.
This season
better than a Wire.
This
That's what they said.
Better than I think it's better than Power, in my opinion.
Everybody's saying that.
Yeah,
it's better than Power.
I've been watching the Tommy one.
The spinoff of Power
Force is my shit.
Better.
You know what? I'm having some issues with Force, but I'm in the middle. I'm gonna get back to it, but I'm a strong Power universe.
All right. So
supporter.
listen. Look at Force like this, right? Tommy is a superhero, and that's it. Because if he's a superhero, the whole shit makes sense. If he's not a superhero and he's a regular nigga, yo, for real, you would have been dead 17 times in the first 3 episodes. Like, but he's a superhero. That's the only explanation is he's a superhero.
So Tommy's a street level Marvel hero.
Yes. No, DC. Okay. He's not Marvel budget yet.
Oh, okay. So street level DC hero.
Yeah.
I understand. Tommy does some things that don't really make sense. That's why I'm struggling with Forrest. But Raising Kanan is solid. Ghost Book 2, that is definitely solid.
Yes.
So they can just do some more work on Forrest. I'm sorry that the Tate, the Governor Tate, his show that fell through. They're no longer doing it. They're
not doing that.
I would have been interested in it, but definitely there is since Oprah is fucking up, there is definitely room for someone to come and become America's new sweetheart. Oprah got to hang it up.
It's gonna be Curtis Jackson.
Just pay black women actors. Why is it so hard to pay black women actors? Why you have to go through the ringer just to get
because they've been exploiting them. Because they've been exploiting them for so many years, it's hard to break the habit.
That's why I feel like when Monique comes in, like, hey, I know we can talk about these folks, but we still got to hold them accountable to, like, hey, the folks who actually have the power and to create, like, black wealth and spread it along and uplift other people, you guys have to sacrifice. You just can't sit on your high horse and hoard every fucking thing until the next generation comes along. No, you got to put up people where you are eventually. Like,
yeah, how many millionaires did you create?
Well, I would like to see Monique try to find some independent funding and start putting out projects of her own. That's what
I would love that.
We said that when she was fucking with Netflix, and she doesn't want to, obviously.
Well, Netflix burnt her, so
that's what I would
burn that bridge.
Listen, she got the money now because they had to pay the settlement, so she got the money.
I agree with you, Curtis. And speaking of Curtises and dickheads, let's move on to DL Hughley. Okay.
Fuck you. Real good, the cut quick version.
So, according to Monique, DL Hughley has been speaking negatively about her for years, right? Their feud actually started in 2022 during a stand-up comedy performance in Detroit, Michigan. He wear the hell of out of a hat or a suit. You know, I gotta admit that. Apparently,
Well, that's a woke DL. Let's go back before the woke DL. He was looking really fresh.
He was
Yeah,
looking
that
like a
Steve
kid
Harvey
in his
suit that he
dad's
had on in
suit.
the Kings of Comedy. You
Yup.
should have kept that shit at home.
That oversized
everybody has
suit.
to grow up. Everybody
And
has
it
to grow up.
had you realize it had fucking
He was
shoulder
already
pads.
35
Yeah,
at the
shoulder
time,
pad.
or even I think he was like 40 at the time when he did that shit.
Seriously. Comic View
How
DL
you
How many
did?
of you DL,
He
man?
was broke.
That
with
was
the linen suits. Yeah.
Stop.
So
Overly large linen suit.
apparently, guys, both Monique and DL Hughley had listed in their contracts that they were to headline the event, and neither party would agree to go on stage before the other. While some comedians could have simply swallowed their pride and accepted the terms of the stalemate, Monique and DL both went to social media, and things got heated. They got personal. So she publicly called out Hughley for not naming the person that sexually assaulted his daughter, Ryan. Hughley spoke publicly about the fact that he had trouble believing his daughter because the person that abused her was someone that he trusted and respected. And so during the Club Shay Shay interview, she discussed the incident along with the fact that she was on his radio show without him present, and they played the Would You Rather game, and they asked her, you know, would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Karen Steffens, who is known as Superhead, without one? She obviously was offended. She called him up and she felt as if that he disregarded her and was rude to her, in which he is saying that that did not happen. Now, first and foremost, or it didn't happen that way, I should say. Do you feel as if them asking her that question was offensive? Because they're comedians, right? They say a lot of off the wall shit.
But that was pointed.
I think
It was a pointed question.
Yeah, that's a pointed question. If it hadn't, if we've been talking for 2 hours, 3 hours, and you ain't bring up neither one of these subjects, and then you bring this up in the Would You Rather, yeah, this is pointed, and I can't. Yeah, that's too much.
Well, to be fair, they do play that game with everyone that's on the show.
Yeah, but normally the questions kind of go back to the conversation. That conversation
I already said that, Curtis.
Wasn't that.
Trying to type that shit to get it in.
Like, that question wasn't that, though. Like, it didn't have anything to do with what they discussed during the show. And that's where the problem would lie for me. And that's because that's what she, and we've never heard this because it never hit the airways, but she said that they didn't talk about it, like, at all. Like, she was completely blindsided by the question.
Yeah.
So
I think
for me,
play the game. That's it.
Yeah. So that would be for me, that would be too much.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
You would be I'd probably punch somebody in the face.
Not punch them in the face, baby. It's just
Listen,
worse.
If ever I'm offended and there's another man in the room who's not my friend, I'm always gonna punch it. My first response is always punch a nigga in the face.
Now, this has nothing to do with Monique. But when's the last time you punched somebody in the face, honey? My sweet baby.
2019.
2019. What did they do?
I was coaching the football team and we had some infighting amongst the players, and one of the players kind of tried to sneak my quarterback, and I was the offensive coordinator at the time and I had to worry about it. And I got involved, and when I went to break it up, he had an issue and he swung on me, so I swung back.
Interesting.
Hopefully it wasn't
somebody offending you and punching you in the face. That's you being actively attacked. When's the last time you assaulted somebody unprovoked physically?
I've never.
Are we supposed to believe you would do that on live radio? Okay.
No, it wasn't live. It was they were recording for the live. Like, that was the thing. It wasn't live. So because it wasn't live, I would have hooked off on them motherfucker then, because it ain't going to air anyway, because I'm gonna call my lawyers immediately. Cease and desist with this whole joint. Yeah. But I'm punching somebody in the face because I got to feel better immediately. Especially we talking about the year that was. Like I'm thinking like that was probably like 2012, 2013, right? I was a different gentleman back then. Now, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's gonna take a lot for me to punch a motherfucker in the face now. For one, this hand is already broken. Like it ain't never healed right from the last time I punched something. So I'm cool. Like I'm 40 plus years old. I don't want to heal from having to punch somebody in the face. Like that's really it.
Everyone
Like,
who's watching, if you would like to contribute to Basim's anger management fund, please send us some stars.
Greatly appreciated.
Surgery on that hand.
You at the age where your hand is going to be like this if you're trying to punch somebody.
Yeah, exactly. The doctor said I don't need surgery. I'm like, yo, I can feel. I had a compound fracture. Like literally, the bone was sticking out of my hand, and I'm like, yo, like. What do you mean I don't need surgery? You got to figure something out. So she said I need surgery.
Can y'all send him thoughts and prayers?
It's my strong hand. Everybody kiss his hand.
My favorite commercial.
It's my favorite.
At any rate, so DL went to social media and he responded back to Monique instantaneously. He was quick with it, okay? He mocked the comedian's career, made fun of her weight, exposed several alleged lies that she told to the public. He also called her Netflix special trash and claimed that the stand-up routine got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. He questioned why she never tends to show her children in public, and how do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? Okay.
I like the Netflix special, first off.
You did you?
I did too.
Did you like that Netflix special?
I did too. Like, and I might just be a Monique fan. Like, I fucked with Monique up until recently.
Oh, sorry. I haven't seen it. I meant to watch it, but like I hadn't seen it, and it came out when like a whole bunch of other stuff came out at the time, and I was
It
did.
Roxy, you did a review on it, correct?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was interesting. I'm sorry, but I thought it was pretty interesting.
But interesting and funny is two different things.
That's true.
Yeah, so was it funny? I giggled a little.
It was different.
I just went,
It was raw. I would
like,
say that. It was
very raw.
Satisfied. And then I went on.
It was very raw.
Yeah, she looked good.
Yeah,
she looked good though.
Like, a lot of these older
Waist was all snatched.
Why does it look photoshopped?
It is.
It's partly edited.
Taffy, you were about to say something. Go ahead.
I said my problem is that like several of these older comedians, like it just come off as like old folks whining from their porch. Like, get off my yard. That's my grass. You kids, like that's like Kevin Hart's special. The last one he dropped like over quarantine was just him complaining about being rich and having to stay in his house. It was like, nigga, if I had a house with 14 rooms, I don't give a shit. Like it was.
I would have built a bowling alley.
It was the most tone deaf shit I've ever heard in my life. Whoa. Chris Rock's last one just hit, and Chris Rock, as much as I like him, a lot of his stand up is him complaining about his very special gifted life. I was like, yeah, nigga, like it rubs me the wrong way. Y'all just sound like old folks from when I was young fussing from y'all porches about shit that you just don't understand anymore. And if you don't understand, that's fine, but don't make it the rest of our fucking problems. Like I'm not spending 2 hours to listen to a bitch complain about like the only funny thing he said was about like his daughter going to school. And even that was a little fucked up the more you thought about it.
Well, he's a fucked up individual. Now, I will say an older comedian who had a wonderful, incredibly funny comedy special was Earthquake. Earthquake special was so fucking hilarious.
Where can I find that?
On Netflix.
The last time I heard an Earthquake stand up was Comic View.
It was
like seriously a long time ago.
I was so pleasantly surprised. It was hilarious. Now
We
he come
talking
out with
pre
jokes
Viacom
like
BET.
rapid fire,
fun.
but it is funny. It's not him necessarily complaining, but he's finding humor in things that you are going to go through at a later stage in your life. But it was really, really funny. And to me, people need to watch that. This is how you do a comedy special. You get in, you hit them with the jokes, and you get the fuck out.
I will say a comedian that I saw like towards the end of their life was George Carlin, and he was funny. Like I went back and watched his old HBO specials from like the 70s or the 80s, and then I saw him in like 2007. He was just as funny, just as topical, like with 30 plus years from his first to his last stand-up special. And I'm just struggling, I guess, with like some of these comedians now.
He wasn't talking about money. I mean, they ain't talking about their lifestyles or anything. Like, they're just.
I mean, but no, because like your lifestyle can change, things can change for you. You can find the humor in like those little bitty changes. Like the person you were 30 years ago, it isn't necessarily less funny than the person you are now. And it's just about you finding like that joy and like being able to make fun of it in that way. And I feel like for a lot of them, it's coming off as like niggas who's just going to work and they don't want to be there. It's like, all right, Miss Irene, you got PTO, call out.
Well, I mean, when Netflix is giving away free money, you kind of just, okay, I'll throw a fucking bullshit special together. For like,
and that's what I felt like it was.
Mil.
That's really what they were. Yeah, that's really what they were. Because George Carlin is funny as shit. I've never seen anything that he's been attached to that wasn't fucking hilarious.
Same with Louis Black.
Literally, that was who I thought of when she said it. I'm like, the first person I think of is Louis Black. Like, if Louis Black was to do another stand up today, it would be fucking hilarious.
Yep.
I feel
if
like
he did
Wanda
one
Sykes,
today.
Yeah, I feel like Wanda Sykes is just as funny as she was when I first saw her as she is now.
Yeah, about an 8.5. She's about an 8.5, and she's always been about an 8.5.
She's not also one of those people in the Hollywood machine either, though. She's not necessarily.
Yeah, she's definitely outside of it.
So she has not lost her edge. A lot of these people get so famous that they lose their edge, they lose their touch with the common person, and so they don't know how to craft a joke that's going to appeal to somebody that got to get up and go to work every day and get it in the mud. They don't know how to do it anymore. So
shout out to one of the sites. She live out in Wayne, PA.
Carolyn!
She live in Wayne for real?
Yeah, she lives in Wayne.
If you don't start that shit, Wanda Sykes is funny. I'll fight you.
When I turn off a Kevin Hart special to watch a Jeff Dunham special, you know that John was meat. Like that.
No, not Jeff Dunham.
I'd rather watch a Jeff Dunham special than watch that last Kevin Hart special. He wasn't talking. He was like in his own bowling alley talking about BS. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. You rich? Oh no. My ex-wife is now talking about me in the media. Oh no, I cheated on my wife and now she's mad at me. Like, none of this stuff is funny. It's just you talking about your life.
You know what is funny? It was recently on Netflix.
Complaining about his life and not joking about his life.
Yeah,
something.
About comedians talking about their lives. I don't know if you've seen the John Mulaney Netflix special.
All of them?
Yeah,
I've seen all of them.
Most recent one when he talks about his drug habit and such about that. That's actually really fucking funny.
Yes, very funny.
So
laugh at his pain, but it's fucking hilarious.
Is anyone going to see the Dark Matter tour?
It's so much money
about it.
Wait, that's the Kevin Hart joint? I mean,
so Cat Williams.
That's the Cat Williams.
Cat Williams joint. Yeah, I'm going. I brought the tickets when he was on Groupon.
So let me explain to people
they on Groupon?
who are listening or in the comments who may not know what that is. Cat Williams was also on Club Shay Shay, and he was the first person to kick off the controversy, to go viral and have everyone mad and speak about ongoing feuds.
No Chicago.
Okay. He has announced that he is having Monique on the tour. He also Pretty Ricky, Mark Curry, MC Red Grant, Tommy Davidson, Takara.
You mean Ricky Smiley or Pretty Ricky like the group?
Pretty Ricky like
Pretty Ricky the group.
Takara Williams.
Why?
And Corey Hart. Okay, so this is significant because he spoke about Kevin Hart in a negative way. He spoke about Steve Harvey in a very negative way as far as him stealing jokes from Mark Curry. Mark Curry has gone on record as saying, yes, Steve Harvey did steal his jokes. So I think that it's fabulous that Cat Williams said, okay, now I'm extending the invitation to you for you to come on tour and, you know, express your craft after this motherfucker stole your shit. Like,
Can I
blatantly stole your shit.
Can I play devil's
People are
advocate
funny
again?
anymore.
Real quick. Go
ahead, Dr. Bumar.
This feels like and sounds like Hurt Niggas Unite.
Wow.
Hurt niggas unite tour.
Like for real, like
Hey,
oh, he hurt you
make
too.
you laugh.
Like yo, like on some real shit. And I said, and one day I said that I would never say this on one of my public broadcasts, but I'm gonna say it today. So my grandmother used to talk shit about my baby moms, right? She still do, but whatever. So at one point, like my youngest daughter's mom, she was like the outcast, like they ain't really fuck with her, but like the rest of them, like put together, like they all got together and like they were all friends. They was going out to dinner and shit. And it was like, it was weird to see, but I was like, you know what? I know what y'all bitches said with behind each other's backs. Cool. So my grandmother called them. I'm not going to say it.
Dr. Bumar, bring it
I
on.
can't say it. I can't say it. It's a lot.
All right.
So
you gave
my grandmother called them a very derogatory term. And I feel like this is them. This is the same thing. This is these niggas hurt y'all niggas. So we all together because we friends because we got the same common oppressor. No, nigga, like y'all don't even like each other for real. Outside of Mark Curry and Cat Williams, the rest of y'all don't even really fuck with each other. Like for real.
What makes you think Tory Hart don't like?
I mean, no matter. Get a bag together. Fuck it.
So wait a minute.
So.
Or is Cat Williams just an intelligent businessman?
Okay, cool.
He is
but the rest of them,
he's capitalizing on a moment. I think
yes,
he's
absolutely.
And he's putting money in everyone's pocket.
He's paying them what they worth.
Overshadowed.
Yeah, too.
I mean, if Kevin Hart would have did this, people would have been like, "Oh, that's good."
You gotta respect the man. For
I
that.
still would have. If it would have came behind this, I still would have felt the same way.
Man, water under the bridge.
At the end of the day, you see the lineup. Black people gonna support.
Absolutely.
So Mark Curry, he spoke to someone recently, and he said that he takes great pride in writing his jokes every day and writes differently than others in his field. He said he stayed away from jokes about COVID and Obama and things like that. He said it left a unique fingerprint so that he could spot when people were telling his jokes. He said the Steve Harvey thing is a bitch move. He said maybe he's not stealing my material. It could be one of his writers. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But they all know that it came from me. And he was like, I actually think that it's an ulterior motive. He said the nigga got enough money. He doesn't need any money. So it must be that you want to be me. It's something about
clearly.
me.
A nigga work 27 hours a day.
You want to emulate. You know what I mean? It's something about me that you want and that your money cannot buy. I was like, ooh, that's kind of
that's arrogant as the fuck.
I mean,
but he did.
But the evidence bears itself out. The evidence bears itself out. Like even if it is arrogant, it is. But if we go back to hanging with Mr. Cooper to the Steve Harvey show, it was the same show.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah, but Steve Harvey outshined all of that, like by and large. Like for him to say, "Hey, you stole my stuff. You wanted to be me." At one point in time, I give you that. That was probably at one point in time. That may have been absolutely true. But Steve Harvey went on to have 11 fucking shows. He had 7 shows on network television pre-COVID. And Mark Curry got what now?
You gotta remember, one Negro at a time. They're never gonna let 2 Negroes go in together. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be one or the other.
That's not true because there was still plenty of other Negroes on TV.
But Steve
Yeah,
took the
Nick
check,
Cannon.
and he said that he took the check. He
Yeah.
specifically said that he took the check. When he was talking to Monique, he said he took the check.
He basically
So because
told her,
he
"Shut
took
up
the
and
check
boom."
and everybody else ain't take the check, he was the one nigga that stood out.
Once I seen that nigga on 5 stations at once, I was like, "This is enough."
That was it. Like you literally, you couldn't turn the channel, and
He's
he
on
wasn't
5
on.
stations and the radio. Get the fuck out of
We
here.
know he
Two
took the check.
things could be
Is
true
that
at
not
the
on
same.
other niggas for not taking the check?
Two
then?
things could be true at the same time, guys. Like he could at one point, yes, definitely been like that nigga Mark Curry. That's who the fuck I want to be. And then once he got to a point and level that Mark Curry could not get to, he took the ball and he ran with it. And Mark Curry was the inspiration, but he has to admit that he has surpassed him. And so maybe he was, he just needed an opportunity. He needed an idea, a leg up, and he was the better comedian at the end of it. I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate.
As soon as that nigga got the co-host for, not the co-host, the main host for the America, Universe, lady,
This universe.
This universe. I was like, it's a wrap. This nigga's on everything. It's like, oh, NBC, Steve Harvey, CBS, LL Cool J, Channel 6 kind of had Nick Cannon and Terry Crews at one point. It was like everyone has that Negro they had to put out face for their network. So you just gotta.
Nick Cannon is also doing Masked Singer and Wild
Well, no,
Out.
ABC had Shonda Rhimes because
Yeah, they did.
Oh, then that Shonda Rhimes had 3 shows back to back. That bitch was getting money.
Shonda Rhimes, that's
real.
She is the bitch that you want.
He had
Shonda with a Honda, yes.
I was a fan.
Shonda Rhimes.
I was stuck for 3 hours.
What's anybody I want to be is Shonda
Scandal,
Rhimes.
How to Get Away with Murder. I was stuck.
And Grey's Anatomy.
And Grey's Anatomy.
That's what I'm saying. It was all next to each other.
Who does Bridgerton? Who does Bridgerton?
Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes.
I didn't want to miss.
Listen, when ABC stopped wanting to pay her properly, she said, "That's cool."
She went to Netflix.
Yep.
I'm a diversity.
All my.
And the first thing she did on Netflix was what was it? 13? No, that was Ava DuVernay. She did did she do the Central Park Boys, right?
Yeah. So those are 2 separate things. Both.
That was rough movie to get through.
Both Ava DuVernay. Damn.
But I will say this: it's a Shonda show when you see an interracial couple. That's a Shonda show.
And the more interracial they are, the better.
Yeah, it's a white man with a black woman. It just might be a Shonda Rhimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is she married? I don't know if she's married.
Except Bridgerton, it was a black man and a white woman.
Bridgerton, she ended up doing the white man with the black, the Queen Charlotte.
Queen Charlotte, but not in the original. Not
the original season. It was black guy. White woman.
I didn't like that. I watched Charlotte, and I'm not watching no more. I'm good.
I'm with you on that one.
Enough of these pasty white bitches getting their backbone out.
Charlotte was a good prequel.
I'm saying though,
Charlotte was a good prequel. I appreciate Charlotte.
That woman from Bridgerton was the most boring, basic white girl. She was flat chested, had no hips, no ass, nothing.
She was boring.
And she got like Mr. Smooth Criminal over there, like talking everybody out their panties. And she looked like a 12-year-old boy. That's exactly what I like. Come on, bro. Nah, he was not going for her. He was not going for her.
Well, he was fucking the shit out of her.
He definitely was.
You got to get all that anger out.
He was tearing her up. The maids was like, "Y'all hear that?" Like
making the maids blush in the hallway.
Man, they like he fucking like that. Like they was like, man,
reparation stroke.
Let me backtrack a little bit. Let me backtrack.
Yeah. To answer your question, Shonda Rhimes is not married. She adopted her first 2 daughters and had her second one through in vitro.
Thank you very much.
That's a whole show right there.
Yeah,
strong black independent woman.
But I wanted to backtrack a little bit because one of the running things that Monique was saying it was, I'm fat, I'm black, I should be lucky to be here. That's why people don't want to hear what I have to say. Now, isn't it DL that said maybe it's just that you're a bitch? I don't know. It might not have been him. It may have been someone else.
It sounds like him.
It might have been Kurt,
That
but it sounded
sound
like DL.
Sound like DL.
You should see Kurt's face.
That, I feel like the Monique situation. The Monique situation, there's so many layers to it, right? Because I do 100% believe many of the things that she's saying. I do believe that sometimes it is the messenger, right? We won't get the message be depending on who's saying it. But I feel like in 2024, she might be leaning a little bit too heavy on the I'm black and I'm fat situation at this point in time. I don't know. Now, I'm not saying that there is not still body shaming and all of that. I don't look at Monique and think of a loud, like she's a loud black woman stereotype, not off the stage.
Yeah.
She not.
I
She not.
mean,
Yeah.
that's 90s Monique, though.
I
Off-
think
Yeah.
so.
Go ahead.
I think though, and shout out to Kathia Woods. She is a film critic that we've interviewed, and she's hooked us up with like some of our movie things. She reposted another content creator that said like, okay, so say all of that is true, you still have to be likable and trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you like even if she was like, you can be nice and have people not trust you.
That's
You
true.
can be talented and have people not like you. So I think it, like you said, it's a multi-layered thing. Where is Monique talented and probably very nice to the people she get along with? Yes. Do people in power find her likable and trustworthy? Now, even if it wasn't what it was before, she done ran to the internet and complained about every single little thing. So maybe now they are looking at her sideways. And is that right? No. But like, that's also, but is it right and is it fair? No. But that's not going to change unless she's going to be willing to play the game. Like you said, like with Taraji, like make some, I'm not saying that she have to make amends, like as quite as publicly, but like, hey, bruh, like, unless you got your own and you doing your own shit, like Tyler Perry built his own studios. Until Monique Studios get built, you might have to eat a little shit, bro.
Yeah.
Roxy,
Wow.
quiet.
Yeah. One of the things that stood out about the interview was the fact that she said something that stood out about when she was younger, nobody liked her because she was truthful.
Mm-hmm.
And even gave an example about one of her girlfriends at the time who had a baby and was going to basically blame it on somebody else when it was somebody else's child. And she was like, no, that's wrong. So she spoke up a lot about right and wrong. And here that went into her adult phase, even into this world of entertainment and everything. And she spoke up. And the fact is that Hollywood is probably looking at her more of a threat because you're speaking up about a lot of BS that's going on here. And if you're speaking up, then this can go ahead and can be some type of a contagion that can go across other people that will also likewise speak up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she's not afraid, and she shows that she's not afraid to risk it all. So I think that's what one of the biggest issues, besides being trusted or being liked or whatever, is the fact of the lack of control that the entertainment industry, in a sense, has, and the fact that she is just going to be herself.
I wanted to do this because I think that the whole situation with Monique, I mean, from everything to Taraji to Tyler to what will be our next subject, her son, right? It's all mental health related because at the cusp of it, when she initially starts the interview, she is speaking about the fact that she was molested, that she was overweight, that despite the fact that she was in a special education class, her family really only focused on her weight, right? And that she's the only person in her family that was overweight, which probably is indirectly because of her dealing with her molestation, right? So it feels as if when she's speaking, she is constantly trying to prove that she is worthy, that she is constantly trying to overcome those feelings that she had as a child. And when people feel like they're less than or they were made to feel as if they were less than, they will continuously be triggered throughout their life, right? And I definitely can relate to that because I've been in those situations where like I don't have the best relationship with my mother, and I am very triggered anytime somebody tries to make me feel like I'm less than. But I because I've gone to therapy, can identify where that comes from. It comes from feelings that were in my childhood, and I'm triggered by those things. I feel that Oprah triggers her. I feel that Tyler Perry triggers her. It makes her feel like that little girl again, and that's why she's fighting so hard, because she has not dealt with those feelings. I think if she were to deal with those feelings and she would be able to process them and find other coping mechanisms, she wouldn't feel the need to continuously speak so loudly and aggressively and to fight that. She would be able to make her peace with it. That's what I think. And then you have the other portion of it where we get into her son. How you pronounce his name? Shalon. So he did these TikToks. He has to this date done 3 TikToks now. Because he felt as if that Monique spun a false narrative. And for anyone who wants to know exactly what she said, we are still very much separated. And it's one of those things where you have to pray and let the universe and let time do the healing. That's it. Let time do the healing. So I did not know her son is also a comedian. I've never seen him do anything comedic, but apparently that's his occupation. He responded, and he's very articulate, saying that neither party has made the effort to fix the relationship, and that although she acknowledged things, she did not take accountability. So I was trying to process that, like, okay, I acknowledge that I did these things to you. How is that not playing devil's advocate? How was that not taking accountability? If I'm saying to you, and I'm saying publicly, I was not the best mother, and I was chasing fame, and I was chasing things, is that not her taking accountability?
Well, accountability without action isn't really accountability.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, because that would mean that an apology without changed behavior is not an apology, and I don't think accountability is apology. Accountability is literally recognizing that I did a thing, and she did that. That is accountability. She didn't say I apologize. She didn't say, hey, she said these are the things that I did. Whether I look at it as right or wrong, these are the things that I did. Period. How I didn't apologize for how it affected you or anything like that. So the idea of her not taking accountability is like, no, what you want is, and I hate to be this fucking guy, what you want is punishment. What you want is retribution. And that is not accountability.
I disagree. I disagree. I feel like because he said he was like, what do you have to offer me outside of money? What do you, who feel, he very obviously is speaking from a place of hurt, and feels that he has been neglected by his mother in this way. And he said that he didn't actually want anything, that the only reason he spoke out was because he felt like she misspoke. And I agree. That's not what accountability means. She has taken accountability for her actions by having a willingness to acknowledge her wrongdoing. Now, has she done that to 100% his satisfaction? Probably not, and I think that's maybe what he means. But I think what he wants, in a way, is like for her to make amends or to be amenable to whatever, to do whatever it would take to be in him and his child's life, because he does have a daughter as well.
Well, to be clear, he said that she does not show humility and compassion in her accountability. So this is where it gets to be a gray area, right? Because nobody is present for these conversations except him and her.
Well, apparently also her husband, which I feel like
Can't forget about daddy.
which is part of the problem because she, and I did say like earlier in the week that I do like the way she speaks about her husband. I do feel like there are certain things you can learn from a man, like with growth and maturity and things like that. And I do still admire that. However, as the mother of a son, the last nigga who finna be in between me and my child is another nigga, and I don't care if it's his daddy or Jesus Christ. I think that's part of the problem is that she's using her husband as a shield for her hurt, and it is causing so much friction on so many different fronts. And if she came to her son as herself, and like you said, like if she actually healed from that trauma, they could maybe like heal that relationship if he was ever ready for it.
Just because I was a little bit confused myself, I went and I had to look up like her marriages and her children, because I was like, I don't really know. I've never seen Monique pregnant, so I didn't even know. I didn't. I never knew she had these other kids.
As a plus size person, you don't always look traditionally pregnant. I
just felt like I missed the part where she had children. So Monique was married to a sports writer named Calvin Watkins, and they had Shalane. In 1990, she described the marriage as abusive, which I think that is something that we definitely need to take into account as far as their interactions and relationship with each other. The child is a product of an abusive marriage, right? Then she married someone named Mark Jackson, and she gave birth to twin sons, Jonathan and David Hicks. And then in 2006, she married their father, which is Sydney, Daddy. Okay, so that's where the other children come into play. I'm like, I didn't even know.
Husband number 3.
I didn't know she was married all them times.
I also feel like we as Black people, bro, like it's cool if you don't want to have kids. And I feel like I feel like a lot of parents, especially from the older generation, had kids because that's what they were expected of them, whether they wanted those children or not. And I feel like because she was in this relationship with someone she was abusive with, and at a time in her life where she was struggling to like figure out herself and get her career started, and she had this baby that she didn't want by a nigga she didn't like and didn't love her, like that 100% comes into play. And I was just like, why you didn't just give it up for adoption or give it to like why?
To be fair, Monique is 56 years old. Back in the day, you got pregnant. Normally,
I was about to say,
you had the baby.
That was a shotgun. That was a shotgun wedding too. That was a shotgun marriage, like for sure, shotgun shit. Like what she described, she didn't use the word, but definitely what she described. She said, "I got pregnant and we got married." Shotgun marriage.
Yep. So I definitely wanted to touch on it because we were discussing it in a talent chat earlier in the week, and the comment was made, well, she should have just got an abortion. Monique is 56 years old. You didn't just get an abortion back then. Whether it didn't matter what you felt about the baby, you had that baby. You know, some people put them up for adoption. Some people gave them to family members and still went on to have awkward, well, I think essentially she did kind of let another family member raise that child.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. So what she did and her experiences are really not that unusual for a woman of her age, quite frankly.
Yes.
I do think somewhere in between lies the truth. He has admitted to having mental health issues. I could kind of see that on him. And both of them, I'm watching their videos, so I'm watching all their videos. They speak the same way. They speak very much in the same cadence, the same tone, the same way. And two people who both have mental health issues, because definitely Monique's been molested, Monique was bullied, Monique has some type of complex PTSD. I would bet money on that, whether she was diagnosed or not. And who knows what else? I don't know. But you got two people with mental health issues, two people with trauma, and they're butting heads. They're butting heads, and they each want something from the other one that they may not be able to give. She probably loved them to the best of her ability. What's Curtis saying in all caps? Or she full of shit. Monique makes bad decisions. We all know it. We all saw the reading.
Why anybody who was in Soul Plane makes bad decisions.
Clean itself was a bad decision.
The reading was great. I loved it. What are you talking about?
Yes, but we don't
projectors
trash
do
talk
what the
Snoop
projectors
Dogg
do.
because of it, do we? No.
Yeah, we don't trash talk Snoop Dogg.
No.
or Tiny Liston.
Oh my God. So Daddy had to chime in. Monique's response to his first video was to let things play out. And Daddy had to chime in and say, that the irony of all this is not what is said, but what's left off. See, you're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years ago. And you're forgetting how I from Georgia was talking to you through getting your car, and we gave you half of the payment for it. And at that point in time, you were about 32 years old. Then Shyline makes another video and says that he finds it unique that in the video response, his mother was not speaking. It was the husband. And that's not uncommon. And only two worlds I know where daddy is used is children speaking with their father and women acknowledging their pimps.
Then he needs to get more in LS if that's the only time that he hears the word daddy.
Well, he felt as if they validated his original video. I didn't like the jab at his mother saying that, he was pimping her, because he's doing something that I often do myself, where I speak I lean into being articulate and enunciating my words and being very soft spoken, so that I can say, I am not insulting you right now, but I'm very clearly insulting you.
Yeah.
Nice nasty.
Yes,
it's nice nasty.
Minnesota nice.
It's nice nasty. That's what it is.
To his point,
Y'all
though, if you
that.
listen to their video, he's like, "What did you offer me outside of money? What did they say they gave him?
Money,
monetary support." And if you have people like parents who don't know how to relate to you as a person, as a child, as another human being, and money can come with strings. So or a funky ass attitude at the very least. Like,
so let me play devil's advocate.
Didn't always support them, and sometimes the support was conditional. Like, I was like, I see what you're talking about.
I think that she loved them in the only capacity she could. Some people, that's all they know how to do, and I've witnessed this in real life. Some people, the only way they know how to show their love is with money. So I think she attempted to. He did say in his second video that I don't know if it was specifically a trust, but it was something like that. She set up an account for him and put $45,000 in it. And he said he blew through it.
Yeah.
But the money came in. You take the money. You took the money though.
Yeah. That's my devil's advocate part.
Okay.
What does he ask her when he sees her? What does he ask her for? Like, we'll all see what happens afterwards. When they come into contact with each other, is he the type of kid that always asks for money? Is he the type of kid that he needs help with certain things? And so that's how she shows her love, is because that's the type of love he asks for. But in the interview, he's saying something different. I've seen that happen before too, where a kid is always asking, "Hey, can you help me out? Can you do this? Can you pay my bill?" But then they're like, "Well, you never give me anything outside of money. That's all you ever asked me for. That's all I can. I can try to give you the other stuff, but you're not going to recognize it."
But he's an adult now.
Yes.
So he should be able to articulate what he needs. Exactly. And if all you ever articulate is that you need money, then I'm going to give you money.
But now, as a child, when he needed to be coddled, when he needed her at his bedside, and she was like, "Oh, the only thing I can do is buy you a teddy bear. I can't be there and hold your hand and kiss your forehead and stuff like that. Do motherly things."
We gotta hear from the twins.
Then at what point do we recognize that people are who they are? Like, that's it. That's who she was. If she was that person, then believe her.
And he said that. And he's saying that.
then the idea
Ooh,
is
that
that with,
haircut.
then I'm not, then I can't support us. Then I can't support us forcing or even insinuating that he
I'll be
needs
mad
or
at my mom for
wants
that.
or even asks for
No,
time
for
or
real.
He's
attention or
not.
anything.
He said that. He said, outside of money, what do you have to offer me? I don't want anything from you. I don't want anything
That's
else
it.
from you.
Then that's it.
See,
go, Roxy, where you want to say something? Go ahead.
yeah, I do apologize.
No,
If
go
the
ahead.
example that has been shown all your life is, I don't know how to fix it, but here's this. I don't know how to give you that, but here's this. Everything is me giving you something. Then when you get older, this is the relationship you're going to have. It doesn't mean that you're this spoiled little rich kid. You're all these different things. Your family set you up like this because they don't know how to express true love to you or true nurturing value. I'm satisfying your need. And that's in the sense how I'm taking care of you. I'm making sure you're surviving another day and all that kind of stuff. So for his comment to be what it is, what more, he's telling you, I need more than just thousands of dollars you're sending me. I need a mother. And he has probably no doubt seen examples of what real mothers do with their children, and to grow up and not have that and long for that. And at an age, you don't know how to really describe or ask for that because it should be something so natural that you should receive. This is why they're probably both there in the place that they're at right now.
I do think that for them to ever move forward, he is going to have to accept the fact that she cannot go back in time and undo what she did.
That's it.
They would have to 100% agree to proceed from where they are today, with her acknowledging that she did wrong in the past and trying to do better moving forward, and with him saying, while I do not like what you did and I needed you then, I will take what you are trying to give me now. That's all that you can do. But if you're constantly living in the past, then neither one of them are going to proceed. So Monique posted the text messages between them.
Oh my
That's
God.
where I don't agree.
Yesterday, and they were from 2020 to 2021. So it is interesting because it is 2024, but I do see that at some point in time they did communicate, and they seem to be communicating in a healthy way. He seemed to love her, she seemed to love him. While she is not demonstrating that, hey, we were on the phone for hours, she is demonstrating that, hey, I did text him and check on him. He was texting me and he was informing me about what was going on in his life. I'm asking about Nicole, which I assume is his baby's mother, asking about the baby in the ultrasound. The only thing that's missing is what happened in between that last text message with that Sydney message to him saying that he cussed out Tuffy, which is the cousin that raised them, and the messages where everything was fine. What happened in between there? Something happened in between there. And I don't think either one of them has very succinctly or clearly laid out exactly what happened. Unless I missed something and someone else saw it, because I didn't see it. There's a gap. So what happened on the phone call where somebody got cussed out? Why did you cuss her out? And why did they cut you off? What did you say during the cuss out? They only allude that it has something to do with the baby, and that's it. So when people leave things out and they talk around things, something is amiss. And Monique keeps saying, she does say, let it play out. So I don't know. Your son is saying he has mental health issues, but they're not saying what the mental health issue is. Now,
being neglected by his mother is enough.
But if I'm playing devil's advocate, right? Just say, let's throw a diagnosis out there. Say he had BPD. He's a borderline. They will put you on a pedestal and then knock you off. So I love you until you didn't or do or say something I liked, and then now I'm cussing you the fuck out. And I hate you and I don't want to hear nothing to do with you. Is that Monique's fault? that she don't, and it probably wouldn't have been the first time that they happened? Is that her fault? That maybe I just don't want to deal with it anymore? I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. Dealing with people with mental health issues is a lot. It is a lot. And as much as you might love somebody, you might get tired of it eventually.
Let alone like you're not always present. Remember, she's a comedian, so she's on the road like 3/4 of the year.
Curtis, all right. You saying a lot of stuff out of here. You real upset. What's going on in these comments, honey? Keep his
Yeah,
name
you guys are like last 8
out of
comments.
her fucking mouth. How are we assessing his mental progress? He made peace. He only spoke on the things because she brought him up on a major platform. He had every right to say his version. At that point, she's 1,000% at fault. It's her fault you even know he has a mental issue. Y'all irking the fuck out of me.
Ooh, someone hurt.
Well, my sweet baby.
She's about to break it down. Let her bring her back. Let her speak her shit.
Let me cook.
Just to losers does not like you.
Okay, Carolyn.
Fuck you.
Yes, it is her fault that we know he has mental health issues. Yes, she brought up the fact that they were estranged. But if I go back to her original comments on Club Shay Shay, she didn't say anything bad about him. She just said they weren't speaking. And if it's for the universe if they end up speaking again. That's it. That's really all she said. She didn't say anything bad about the boy. Now, if he felt like you said my name, I'm Candyman, I'm going to come and I'm going to say what I got to say, that's fine. Okay? But if you know your mother, you knew your mother was going to say something else. That's all I'm saying. You knew your mother was going to say something else. So, should you have just been quiet and let it alone? I don't know. I probably just would have left it alone since you didn't say anything bad about me.
It gave I'm tired of being quiet.
Okay.
And you and maybe like this her first time speaking publicly about him, but like that whole situation, like what you alluded to with like the cousin and all that, like how much is she running her mouth to people that know him personally? Like maybe he felt the need to go on TikTok because I'm letting everybody know at this point, not just the people who know me personally, but everybody else. Since you decided to bring me up publicly, I'm going to say something back because I'm tired of you running your mouth about me.
Oh, that sound like his mama though.
You said they was alike, didn't you?
I'm just saying that sound like his mama though. So it's all a hot ass mess at this point. Oh Lord. If y'all would like to donate to King Kurt's therapy, please give us some stars.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah, them stars ain't going there.
Listen, at a certain point, because he kept saying he wasn't coming back on, but he kept coming back on. So I also wanted to say, if he's a comedian, could he be trying to get his 5 minutes of fame so he can get his comedic career jumping? I'm not saying he is. I'm just putting it out there because
I mean, that was a bad shot. That shit wasn't funny at all.
I never knew he was a comedian.
But he didn't say that about himself. That's something people dug up about him.
I would have to go on he got a whole TikTok, so for them to say that he's a comedian is out there somewhere. I don't know whether he said it himself or not. Carolyn said, I think Kurt's therapy sessions cost $40 an hour. 4,000. 4,000. We need a team.
That's 400 million stars we need.
BK, you have any thoughts on this? You've been quiet. I know you don't have kids, but
no, I have a lot of thoughts because I am the kid. Like that's almost like that's a relationship between. Damn, I get the big screen. Okay, It kind of reminds me of the relationship I kind of had with my mother when me and her fell out. Because the situation I recognize and see is she's choosing her man over her own child. That's how I feel about it. That's how I see it because I've experienced that. And the response, even with the video, her just being quiet and him talking, it was just like, what the fuck? Like, I recognize certain things that I've experienced, and this situation here is no different. And I think him speaking out was more so of, let me jump the narrative and put my side of the story out there before, the press come knocking down my door, before people start wondering where I am and what I'm doing and looking into my life. So let me go ahead and just put myself out there up front and control my own narrative before it start getting control for me, before they dig up my mental health records from somehow odd or whatever. You never know. I think that's what he was doing, because at the end of the day, when you got a mom or any type of parent that's controlling like that, even some things that she said could have triggered him that we would never see, because we don't know that relationship personally off the camera between the two. And it's like, when you got a parent, that are very manipulative and wordplay and what they do and say with their child in order to make themselves look good. You certain things that the public don't. And I think that's what Monique was doing, and he was trying to call her out on that, like, hey, this is the real, like, he was flashing that light on the shadow. And then they like saying, because I do the same thing with my parents, I kid you not. And that was the relationship me and my mama had throughout my entire college years. So I kind of felt like him in a sense.
Okay, I can see that. Dr. Boomar, you are a child and you also have children, right? So your kids come to you later and say that they disapprove of how you parented them. How you gonna handle that? You just not gonna say nothing? Dr. Boomer, your mic is off.
Tap the top. Tap the top.
There we go. Sorry. I don't know how I did that. But so yeah, I would just say I did the best I could.
You alive, right?
Yo, on some real shit.
But that's the answer you get. That's the answer.
On some real shit. Like, as a parent, a child doesn't come with a manual. So because a child, especially the first one, right? Especially the oldest never comes with the manual. At least as the oldest, as the middle and the youngest, at least I got some type of like, yo, I know this didn't work, right? Like I got some type of thing to go by. Like my mom, and I tell this story a lot. Me and my little brother, we're 12 years apart. My parents weren't the same people that raised us. They had 12 years separate. Like, they're not the same people. So because of that, all right, cool. You don't approve of how I raised you, and that's fine. Raise your children better. That's it. And if there's any reparations, anything you want me to do, cool. Let's go do it. Let's figure it out. But outside of the relationship that I want to establish with my grandchildren, I did what I could for my children, and that's it.
So I did
the best I could.
You agree with how Monique's handling the situation?
How who's handling it?
Monique.
So it's not that I don't approve. Because a lot of people. So the one thing that she said in that interview that stuck with me was that they were friends from the time that they were 14 years old. As far as her and her husband, he's seen her through her other marriages, meaning that he's been in that boy's life, all of it. So it ain't like some regular nigga off the street having a conversation with him. It may not be like a dad having a conversation with him, but it's still like a nigga that has known you. Like I know all your history. I don't just know you from today.
But
so that's different.
But would it be vice versa? Would like Shalom know him, where he was on the outside looking in? Was there literally like, just because he know the child, that doesn't mean the child actually knows him? Because
that's true.
He could have came around and be like, "Then who is this nigga?" And not
that's
knowing
true.
That
but he also, but the one thing that Sydney said, and I got to hold Sydney on his word on this one, is the fact that me, your daddy, and your mama got a great relationship. You the one on the outskirts.
But the daddy could be a piece of shit, and Monique got a little. Monique got something. He could just be
so then he at this point he is 32 years old or however old he is. At some point he got to take responsibility and accountability for the shit that he allowed to continue beyond his 18th birthday. Period. At some point we got to say, yo, you a grown ass man. At some point you got to take responsibility for the things that you've allowed to continue and the relationships that you've continued to kind of like fester and allow to stick around over these years that you knew that these people wasn't shit. At some point you got to own up to that. At some point we got to, it's on you.
Roxy, you got something to say. I see it all in your face.
Okay. So I'm going to say this. As a parent of a 23-year-old, I had to have that conversation that Monique is afraid to fully have with her son.
Okay.
The thing about as women and men, even though we know that we may not have or been taught how to be parents or whatever, because there's no manual out there for this. You're going to go about however way you're going to learn. You still know that there are things that you have done that you could have done better with your children. Mm-hmm. And there's always time. And also to humbling yourself to have that conversation with your child without your child asking. You look at your child and you watch them grow. At times they're not around you. There might have been times they wasn't around you for a good while because of different decisions you had to make. But then and it's hard. It's not the easiest thing to sit down and have these conversations with your children, especially since all of us at some point probably were raised. You don't ask me questions. You mind your business, go in the other room. That's the kind of household a lot of us probably came from. But if you want to build and save that relationship, sure, you can't go back in the past. The past is done. But you can create a whole new future with your kids because it's important to you and you know it's important to them. And you're going to walk that uncomfortable conversation and do it together with your son or your daughter. And you can't rightfully leave it fully up to your child to fix it. You're at a certain age, you deal with it. You're at a certain age, go ahead and, figure it out and get therapy. Sometimes we got to hold each other's hands to get out that deep part of the water. That child may not even know how to do it because they don't even know how they got there because you placed them there. So what sense would it make? It's just as bad as you ever see in a supermarket and you see those parents that tell their little 2-year-old, sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up.
Yes. I hate
you getting on my nerves. Go sit down. So mind you, that they have these grown behind words with these babies. And then these babies grow up and emulate them later on in life. And those parents get all embarrassed, maybe are ready to fight the world. Mind your business. You put them in that position. They rely on you. They got no one else to teach them anything. So if you F them kids up, heck yeah, I think it's your responsibility as a parent to try to fix it or lead them in the direction or be bold enough, be strong enough to sit there, hold those hands, have that hard ass conversation. And that's how you go ahead and you show that you're not only sorry, but you're also showing true accountability because you're actually pointing out what was done wrong, what you did wrong, and how you did it. They're kids. And yes, some people think I don't owe them any kind of responsibility or explanation. No, you do. Get out of that mindset that you don't owe them. No, you're not a god. They didn't ask to be here.
Right.
So when they get to that age of 20-something, 30-something, or whatever, and they got those issues, you be there for them kids until you can't.
I like
that. That's the whole message right there.
I 100% agree. The only thing I have to say to that is that at some point, when you recognize that your parents ain't shit, it's still on you. Because obviously, his parents ain't shit. and they're not stepping up to do it. So if they're not stepping up to do it, then at what point is it his responsibility to be a fucking decent human being for himself?
He is a decent human being. He is
decent.
being a decent human being. The only thing he can do now is just protect his peace. I would have recommended for him to just not say anything, quite honestly. I think that it did more harm to say something, in my opinion. But if you know, like they said earlier in the interview, if it's your story and it's the truth, then say it. I am that type of person, but he also knew what was going to happen when he did that. And so now it's a back and forth, and it's stirring up a lot of emotions that he probably did not anticipate having to deal with. Sometimes, like he said, Shannon, don't chase the lie. Don't chase the lie. I don't think anything that she originally said would have been impactful enough in his life or his child's life had he just said, fuck it, go on and do what you need to do. You know the truth and I know the truth. As we rounding this out, because we are coming to our 10 o'clock mark, Carty, you are a child and you also have children. Your kids come to you and say, I don't care for what you did when I was a kid.
And then we would have to talk about it. It's like, hey, this is the common Black generational curse. I mean, I can talk to my daughter about all the things that, hey, I had the same problems with my father and what he hasn't done. And I make sure that those gaps that I missed, I filled with you. So if there's any potential gaps that I missed with you that can't be directly filled right away or within our relationship, make sure you fill those gaps with your children until the whole puzzle is put together. That's the only reason. That's the only thing I can think of is just make sure that, hey, your main priority is do better than your parents. Make sure you're in a better spot than I was when I was at your age. I can successfully say that I've made that a priority in my life, and think I'm doing a pretty good job of it. I know I'm more active in my child's life than my parents were in mine. So I guess that's as best as I can do until, my daughters come to me and say, hey, this, and this. Then I can say, hey, I'm really sorry. I did the best that I could. But if I can make it up to you, I definitely can. If not, then hey, it's going to be on you to carry that torch to try to cement those cracks. And I know I have to have a whole different conversation with my youngest daughter who doesn't live with me now. And I have to tell her, hey, when she comes of age, but hey, this is what happened, this is how this played out, and this is the way it went. And of course, I'm gonna try to do all I can to make up for lost time when it gets there. But hey, you got to know the truth, and this is what happened, and she deserves that, but only when she's ready to understand it and accept
Ooh,
it.
that is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
At what age do you tell your child that the other parent is a piece of shit when they come to you? Or do you ever tell them that? That's a whole nother conversation. Because sometimes you asking a question, but I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you the real answer or not.
Or if they can handle the real answer, because I know that happens with my father and one of his daughters, and that's one of my sisters that don't talk to us at all because of what her mother has said about him and us as a family. So she just, you know what, I'm gonna just take my mother's word for it and leave everybody alone, which really wasn't the case. But now my sister's about 46 now, and I haven't seen her since I was like 10. So she missed out on a lot of things just because of her toxic mother saying all these bad things about my father and the rest of us. So it can go both ways. It can be really damaging and not healing at all. So you have to be careful.
Tuffy, you are a child and you also have children.
children.
Oh yes, look, I'm wishing pregnancy on you. My bad. I'm so sorry. But he comes to you and he says that, you know, I don't really like how you raised me or how you showed up for me.
That's funny because like I'm kind of like in a weird space. Like I identify with Shalon so much because I have parents who like have acknowledged that like their parenting wasn't the best, but they also get hella defensive about it.
Man. Oh
Like
my God.
my mom got upset about a TikTok I made making fun of a situation that I had in the past, and she was like, "I've never done anything like that to you. I would never do that." And I was like, "Oh, word? Okay." Like I just said, "Oh, girl," I was like, "Okay, girly pop, if you say so." And she's like, "Well, why would you say that?" And I'm like, "Because it happened. It happened." I was like, "This is a core memory. This is something I remember so clearly that helped shape part of who I am."
And she didn't remember it, did she?
No. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. And she was just like, "Well," and this was her taking accountability. "Well, even if that was the case, I don't like that you made a joke of it for the whole world to see."
No one likes to be caught on their bullshit. Really.
I'm sorry that was your experience, but I don't appreciate that you did this. So you don't appreciate how I coped with your bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I just say okay. I'd be like, "Girl, okay."
Because that's like all you really can say is just okay.
And because one, I don't owe you an apology because I did not do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened to me and I coped the best way I could as a child. And I recognize my parents for the flawed people that they were, the flawed people that they are, the flawed people they will probably be in the future. I accept my parents as they are. To Basim's point, as a 36-year-old adult, it is on me to protect my peace and to manage my household the best way that I know how. I am in no way, shape, or form under the impression that my parents are ready to have like a come to Jesus meeting about their failings as parents. And I am not in a position where I want to be gaslit about it. So we let sleeping dogs lie. If my my sweet baby ever comes to me and is like, "I feel like you failed," I would 100% agree. I would be like, "You absolutely fucking right." And I can point to you where some of the times that I have failed, because being your parent for me was traumatic sometimes. And I am so sorry that I could not do the best thing in that situation, but I don't want you to ever think that I was not 100% trying every single day. The only thing that I can do now is try and help you heal going forward. And if my child has a reaction where maybe they don't want to be close to me now, that's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna have to let him figure it out on his own. I will always, and I have said this, my child could do anything. My child could bring about the apocalypse. That's my motherfucking baby. Shut your ass up. So that's my OG. So I'm just like, listen, if he will allow me to be there to make our future relationship better, I'm down to do the dirty work. We're gonna sit in therapy, hold hands, sing kumbaya and cry. Or if he don't want me around, I will give him that space. I'm gonna do what it takes to make it right to the point where I can make it right. But at no point am I ever going to be like, "No, I didn't do this to you," because nigga, I know, nigga, I was there, I fucked up.
So before we let the people know where everyone can be founded, I am a child and I have children. I enjoy both the interviews, Kat and Monique. Cat was just funny because I find him to be hilarious, even when he's not trying. Monique, I felt like I was in a therapy session, but not in a bad way. Like, it was very insightful, and it is very much due to the fact that I'm currently going through the situation with my mom that is most likely going to pass at some point in time, and it will be because we have to make that decision. So I am having to step in and deal with an estranged parent that never took accountability for anything. So I very much can sympathize and empathize with Shalon. I understand it. But also because of my weird fascination with psychology, I can see Monique's side of it as well. Which is why I say you can only love somebody at the capacity that you have the emotional bandwidth for. Shut up! And I understand that my mother, although not formally diagnosed, was most likely a borderline and a narcissist. And then you add a substance abuse problem on top of it. She was never going to be able to be a good mother to me in particular. Also because I'm a girl and she had an issue with me because I was a girl. I really don't know why. Couldn't tell you that. Gotta go find out.
A lot of mothers are jealous of their daughters.
It's wow. It's very wild to me. It's something that I tell everyone, it's something that my grandmother told me when I was a child. She told me that your mother is jealous of you. And I didn't understand it at the time, but throughout my life and time, she took every opportunity to confirm that what my grandmother said was absolutely 100% true. I, fortunately enough, made a decision in my adult life that I was going to cut her off for my own peace of mind. That had I continued to try to pull something out of her that she was not capable of giving me, that I was always going to be in turmoil and it was going to be a detriment to me and my mental health. So I had to make the decision to realize I'm never going to have a relationship with her. And oddly enough, probably a few weeks before I got the phone call about my mother, I had a conversation about the fact that I was going to get a phone call one day and I needed to be able to be at peace with the fact that I had not been present for the last 10 years of her life. And I'm proud of myself because I am. I'm very much at peace with my decision. Because some other things that have recently come out, she had the opportunity to reach out and she did not. And so that just let me know that she also was at peace with her decision to not be in my life. So I identify with Shalon. I do not demonize Monique. I don't demonize her. I don't think she's handling everything correctly. I definitely don't. I would not have put those text messages out. I would have just let him have it. But I think that she does love him. Just in the only way that she can. If my kids come to me and say that I did not do my job, I mean, I'm already a therapy advocate, therapy, and I do everything that I can to not, because you can't grow up in chaos and not pick some of that shit up and absorb it, right? I very much have some traits that I wish I did not have, but I actively work against them. I think that's the part that's missing for Monique. She is not actively working against those things, and so she can't show up for Shalon the way that he needs her to show up. So if they ever came to me, I'd be like, well, we all doing family therapy now. And even if it bothers me, get it off your chest and we will find a path moving forward. So anybody out there who is having any type of issues with their children, if you want it to work, I always say therapy helps. Black people need to engage in therapy more often. And the fact that we have so many dysfunctional Black families highlights the fact that we all need to engage in individual and joint therapy if you can convince someone to do it. And when you go there, you have to be open to hearing things that will make you uncomfortable. That's where Monique and Daddy get it right. You have to be able to have the uncomfortable decisions. Conversations if you want to progress. So that's my little violin story.
Had your own background music and everything. Siren, got sirens in the background.
No.
And all jokes aside, Curtis, I know that this is very, very triggering for you. So I appreciate you running the stream despite that fact. And I know you don't like all this sappy shit, but I am sending you peace and healing. That's all I'm going to say on that. Thank y'all for being here with us this evening. You was about to say "fuck me." Yes, I tried to be nice. See, that's what you like. That's what you like. You like to be talked to crazy. It makes you feel good because that's what you're used to, right? That's what you want.
Swallow that.
Y'all, this is toxicity at its finest. Anyway.
I just want to say one thing to Kurt. Yo, next time I see bro, I can't wait to see you. I might just drive to your crib tonight just to give you this big ass hug, bro. I need you to know that you are loved. Like today. Like you are loved, bro.
Yes. Curtis.
Because the projection was real, bro. The projection was so real. I was like, oh my God, I never knew. My bad. But I love you though, bro. I love you. Absolutely. And I can't wait to see you because I'm gonna hug the shit out of you.
On the count of 3, we should all say we love you, Curtis. 1, 2, 3. We love you.
Doesn't know how to receive love. It's horrible.
Thank you guys so much for this unique episode of Unicorn Straight No Chaser. I'm so sorry that y'all didn't get y'all debauchery here. Fuck it, a bitch going through some shit. So I wanted to spread some healing, okay? You put it out into the universe. So
We did it in the beginning.
Absolutely. We got a little bit of debauchery out in the beginning, and yeah, we good.
That's what this show is here for. I created my own goddamn therapy. Before we head on out, I hope y'all come back every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I promise I'm gonna make it extra nasty for y'all next episode because y'all sat through all this and did therapy with us. Okay, I'm gonna look up something really debaucherous, really trifling. Let me get on it. Okay. Before we leave, I'm going to let the ladies, because I'm no lady, say where you can find them out at Foxy Roxy. Let them know where they can find you at.
Okay, you guys can follow me at Foxy Roxy _ the voice 38 on Instagram.
And Taffy, our mocha-fied mermaid.
Yes, melanated mocha-fied merjoin. You can follow me at Taffy Wonder over on my Instagram and TikTok. There's where I am the most active. Y'all gonna have to slow down with them Facebook friend requests, bro. Don't do it.
Dr. Boomar.
So I'm Basim the Dream everywhere. You can find me as I'm not really active in anywhere besides my group. I just tend to not have the energy for it. But yeah, you can still follow me. I post stories every now and again.
He is the laziest content creator I've ever seen in my life.
I'm a Taurus. It is what it is. I got great ideas and lack followers.
Oh my God.
That's a male Taurus thing.
It's 100%.
I want to say because the female Taurus, I know, are go-getters.
Yeah,
they are.
And our socialite, Mr. BK.
I'm a socialite, I guess.
Mr. Teddy Graham.
You know what?
It's up now. You Teddy Graham from here on in.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's your boy BKE for life. You can find me under that name on every platform. Pay close attention. I guess a new cosplay that's about to be posted soon. So, yay! I'm happy.
And
It's
our
Libra Nation.
reigning soft dime daddy, Mr. Light Skin himself. You still didn't get your toxicity back, but go ahead.
It's growing. He can have mine.
This is week 4. Yeah, it's getting there. It's got a little grabbage now. You can grab it and move it, and it's getting there. But yes, it's the Carty Experience here. You can follow me at thecartyexperience.com. I don't have a website. The fuck I'm talking about. Definitely on IG. I guess I'll work on a website one day, I guess. But yeah, if you want funny, nasty, good stuff, come follow me there.
Carolyn has a question for you. You have any other lines you say besides "good girl"?
Well, this good girl is also a bad girl too.
Carolyn, you trying to find out?
No, she wants to know if it's overused, and it's not.
Yeah, that was last night. That was a good topic. Definitely a good show for men. That was a good topic.
It's all about the vibe, though.
Okay.
I'll call it out, whatever the situation is. I mean, you be a good girl or a fucking little cum dumpster. Who knows how you acting that night?
It depends on the moment.
Depends on the moment.
Fucking little cum dumpster.
And guys, I want to give a special thank you to Tuffy and Roxy for joining us on this in this conversation. I appreciate what you added to it, definitely, because you see I'm surrounded by penises. So, Roxy, you really was giving your mama advice. I was feeling it. I'm gonna run it back. I'm definitely gonna run it back. But you know, I am Siren by night, your queen of extra assault and shenanigans, your diva of debauchery. You can find me, yes, and also the executive producer. Thank you for crediting me, sir. Here you go. Yeah, he part of it some kind of way. I don't really know how, but okay. You can find me on all platforms at Siren by Night, on IG, on Facebook, on TikTok. I am at Siren_by_night. I have not really returned back to TikTok like I want to yet. I don't know why. I got a TikTok block, but I'll get over it at some point in time, I'm sure. Probably after this a repass. I have a lot of stuff that I want to say, but anyway. Y'all can find me there. Thank you so much for being here. Again, give us stars if you appreciate what we bring to you each and every Thursday. Give us stars if you would like to contribute to Basim's anger management and hand repair fund. Give us stars if you would like to donate to Curtis getting a new heart because the one he got is broken. All of that. And we'll see you next Thursday. Until then, you know, don't tell nobody truth.
Go responsibly, guys.
Keep it a secret.